going to Bottomland! 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 I have not been fucked in this outfit, chat.
Just come.
8 homosexuals. You can get filled up with stuff. Trust me. It's everywhere! We're covered in puppet milk. Covered in puppet milk. Covered in puppet milk. Bottomland! 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 Puppet milk.
It's 9/11. Never.
The Panther is here!
I'm going to Bottomland! 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 I have not been fucked in this outfit, chat.
Just come.
8 homosexuals. You can get filled up with stuff. Trust me. It's everywhere! We're covered in puppet milk. Covered in puppet milk. Covered in puppet milk. Bottomland! 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 Puppet milk.
It's 9/11. Never.
The Panther is here. Hi everyone, welcome to another MAGA Cope stream. I always like when we can get together and do one of these, and oh boy, this certainly is one, isn't it? Has anything interesting happened in the last 24 hours, chat? Any interesting federal indictments that might be on screen worth talking about? How's it going? Woo! Happy Pride Month, everyone. Pat Robertson's gonna be in the ground soon. Trump gets indicted. Crypto.com closes. God damn, it's a good month to be queer. How's everyone doing? Hopefully good. Hold on. Someone asked for a Black's Law dictionary. I gotta make sure I can find it first. You can get filled up with stuff. Where'd I put it? It's everywhere. I can't do a Black's Law dictionary request because I can't find it. I'll find it for next time, though. Sorry about that. Let's see what I missed in chat. I see we're on a hype train of some kind, or at least we were. Oh, we still are. Cool. This is better from Tales from the Crypto. I swear I was planning on doing that today. I keep wanting to cover the crypto news because, like, the two biggest crypto exchanges are being sued by the SEC, and it's a big deal, but, like, I feel like a president being federally indicted for the first time is a bigger deal, right? I'm gonna turn this off. Hats off, Buttershave. What do you want me to wear? Okay, let's see what we got in chat during this hype train so far. My gayest hat? I don't think that was hard. Okay, let's see what else is in chat. Old Enough to Know Better Now says, what can't Gina dance to? Reality? Nina is Meaner, thanks for 21 months. Stinks of the Internet, thanks for 20 months. Ice Queen 142, thanks for 25 months. Says, sorry I've not been around. I've been busy. Just wanted to stop in and say hey, and we've got lots to celebrate. Pat Robertson certainly proves only the good die young. Anything else going on? 78% to level 4 on the hype train. Old enough to know better now says, can't let the hype die before Hannah gets here, y'all. You didn't. Good job. I need some kind of background music. This is maddening. Hold on. I know I saved more stuff if I can find it. I'll be the background music until they will be here. Is it this one? That's good. That'll work. Perfect. Let's see. There's a hydrate and a juggle. I can do that. First the hydrate. Then the juggle. How are the chuds taking the second indictment? Not great. This one's federal too. I don't think they're big fans of this, if I'm being honest. Hannah karaoke stream when? I don't know. On the Donald, there are calls for genocide. I mean, there have been for a while, but yeah, I assume they're mad now. I'm looking for GreatAwakening.win, but we should probably look at Patriots.win or whatever to see what they're saying. I'm sure it's not great. First name bunch of numbers, thanks for gifting a sub. Lennon Cat, thanks for gifting a sub. Kariko59, thanks for continuing your gift sub. First name bunch of numbers with 50 bits says, I was not prepared for any part of this song. Enjoying my unexpected trip to Bottomland, though. Dahlia Vianney says, is gifting a sub, thank you. Kirthan, thanks for 33 months, says, Ayo, sup nerds. Dr. Worm with 26 months says, this is such a blessed Pride Month. Humiliated Grapes, thanks for gifting a tier 1 sub. Old enough to know better now says, damn, Hannah has that drip today, as absolutely not 1 million years old, as absolutely no one not a million years old would never say. You have a proposal for me? Keep an eye on my Twitter DMs? Okay, will do. Bumble Homestead, thanks for 200 bits. Tucker's gonna get sued for breach of contract. Brilliant. Mew the Best says, I got highlights in my hair and Trump got indicted. Good day. Star under display name with 70 bits, thank you. Gitara with 100 says, praise Paul, what a great week. Also adding the Bottomland song to the Temple's hymnal. Jules Kurzler, thanks for 18 months. This stream baby's going to be indicted federally. Indicted federally is the name of this baby. 16%, 33% to level 5. Dahlia Vianney says, 2 streams in a row, effing rad. Might never happen again, but I always watch on YouTube. Ooh. Well, I'm glad you could make it twice in a row. Steve with a Q, thanks for 32 months, and Stone Corbell with 150 bits says, I don't know if you watched it, but Tucker went on an absolute unhinged rant on Twitter today. Do you have a link? I have not seen it. I'm sure he's freaking the fuck out, though, as many of these people are. I thought it'd be fun. We'll look through some of the indictment, because it's pretty fucking damning. Like, I'm a pretty pessimistic person in terms of believing, like, justice is possible for people like Trump, but, like, I'm not gonna lie. This is a damning fucking document, the stuff I've seen, at least, so far. Trump being indicted is the second best thing today. Best was braiding your pubes. I'm happy to hear about your pubes. Have I seen Mark Levin about it? No. If you guys have links of any good cope you've seen, feel free to send them. I can't guarantee I'll watch them, but absolutely, if you have anything to send, I'll check it out if I can. It's a good day. 42% to level 5. Dun, 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 dun. We have so many crazy people. Stone Corbell says, here's the Tucker thing. It's weird. It's not related to the indictment, though. Okay, we can go over this.
Hey, it's Tucker Carlson. Let's say you wanted to control a country. How would you start? Well, you'd want to make sure you had the complete obedience of everybody inside your borders who was authorized to use deadly force. You would start.
Oh, yikes. Dahlia Vianney, thanks for gifting a sub.
Start with the military, and then federal law enforcement, and move your way down, ultimately to agencies like the IRS.
Moo Bunny, thanks for 12 months, says a year of chud, sob, sits, and crypto cringe. Fun!
Controlling the...
I don't even think that's true. You'd probably want the IRS to be one of the first things, because they control revenue gathering for the federal government, which is an important role.
Guns would be a top priority for you if you ever wanted to go dictatorial, if you
78% to level 5.
wanted to be baby doc. But let's say you had deeper ambitions. Let's say you wanted the power not simply to control people's behavior, but to control how they think, not just their bodies, but their minds, as a god would. In that case, you need to take charge of the society's taboos. A taboo is something that by popular consensus is not allowed. A taboo may not be illegal, but it doesn't need to be. Over time, social prohibitions are more powerful and more enduring than laws.
Is he just gonna be like, it's not fair that homophobia is considered bad or something? This cope is great. Thank you, Baha. We'll take a look at that later. Speedy Yoshi says, Cracker Barrel has fallen at the Battle of the Pancake Tacos. The Union has pushed the Confederacy back to Golden Corral Hill, awaiting backup from Red Lobster, who's currently in battle with Long John Silver's at the Battle of the Faker Fish. Lennon Cat says, I was taking a look at some of these chud things, and someone made an allusion to them wanting Trump to declare himself emperor. Quote, the fact of the matter is that if Trump had made good on all of his promises to lock Hillary up, drain the swamp, and cross the Rubicon on January 6th, then this wouldn't be happening right now. End quote. Somebody in the comments says, oh hey, if my name is too long or whatever, you can call me, Lewis. I can say your name, it's fine. A DM has been DM'd. I saw that you messaged me. I'll check it out. Interview with Levin. Oh, wait, the lawyer. Is it with the lawyer? Yeah, I think I've seen it, but we can check it out. Xandris, thanks for gifting 2 tier 1 subs. 15% to level 6 on the hype train. A high hype train for a kick-ass day. How nice. Oh, two of Trump's lawyers quit as soon, like an hour or two after the indictment dropped. So presumably they took a look at the evidence that they had against Trump and went, fuck this, and resigned immediately. So that's a good sign. It's Ceci says, anytime I'm outside on a sunny day and I see cloud, my mind immediately goes, Clued, become a square, Clued. I blame you for this. You should, it's my fault. Speedo Spank, thanks for 16 months, says, wow, wowie, wow. Speedy OG says, do you think if Trump ever got sentenced to prison, he won't, because Trump, it would be like what happened with Joseph Smith, but the opposite? Tons of right-wing lunatics with guns trying to break him out and getting shot? Maybe. It would be kind of funny. 31% to level 6.
Societies are defined by what...
Probably because Trump made them give false statements to prosecutors. That's 2 of the charges in the indictment. Woof.
they will not permit, as are famously religions. Muslims don't eat pork, neither do Orthodox Jews. Traditional Christians oppose extramarital sex. The Amish avoid electricity, and so on. American society isn't overtly religious, but it's governed by taboos, and it always has been. What's interesting is how fast our taboos are changing. This is not happening organically. What we're allowed to dislike is being dictated to us from above, sometimes by force.
No, it's not. Most people just don't agree with you. The move towards gay rights and trans rights has been going on for decades. It's not sudden. You're just refusing to move on the issue.
Until fairly recently, for example, it was taboo in this.
Moo Bunny says, congrats on the ADHD meds, it's life-changing. Also hi from a transvian couple that enjoys your content. Oh, thank you.
This country
hydrate.
To attack people on the basis of their race. That was the main lesson of the Second World War, we were told, again and again. The one thing we learned from the Nazis is that it's dangerous to reduce human beings.
He's gonna be like, oh, everyone blames white people for things.
To their genetic code.
Axel54 with 200 bits says, Tucker's speeches are all surreal. Like he has the exact right mix of uncharismatic, overproduced to read as fake to my European mind.
There is no master race. That made sense, but apparently we no longer believe it.
Alright, that's enough of Tucker Carlson's Nazi bullshit. They released the Trump indictment tonight because the walls are closing in on Biden. We've seen the evidence, says Lauren Boebert. Jesus fucking Christ. Hold on, I'm gonna check this Twitter message real quick. And then we'll get into it. Ooh, that sounds fun. I'll get back to you later about it. Dolly Vianney says, everyone sings See Nobody Cool Likes Tucker Carlson by Austin Archer. CBC Man, thanks for 27 months. Says, Twins! So happy to have found your content. You rock. Okay, the twins are gonna be named... James Comey and Jared Kushner. I don't know. Lennon Cat says, we've seen the evidence. Also, if anyone has any evidence, please contact me. It's important. I gotta turn the window AC on. I'm getting warm. I'll be right back. Devil Summoner Marie says, remember, the Stonewall riots happened in 1969. The 60s. We've been fighting for trans and gay rights for 50 years at minimum. And we've done very well, which is why I think they're mad. Anyway. So, I assume most of you saw this. But what happened was, yesterday, Donald Trump went on Truth Social and straight up said that he was being indicted federally. Now, this indictment was supposed to be under seal. This wasn't supposed to come out because I know many of you know this. There are other criminal investigations of Donald Trump going on right now. And when this kind of thing happens, you want to keep juries as unbiased as possible. So they were trying to keep it under seal until the other grand juries were able to meet because it might, you know, bias them towards indicting him. Trump doesn't understand any of this, I guess, so he decided last night to go online and blast that he's being federally prosecuted. Smart. My theory on what happened was basically he feels for the first time in his life that he's not in control of a situation, or one of the only times in his life at the very least. I imagine the judge and his lawyers and everyone around him told him, like, hey, don't tell anyone about this. It's not supposed to be talked about. It's under seal. And I feel like the only reason he basically messaged about it, sent out a thing on Truth Social, is so he could feel some semblance of power in the situation. Anyway, so. First, I guess let's just take a look at how Donald Trump's been taking the news. He's been retweeting and tweeting stuff since yesterday, so. He's retweeting a ton of people. Here's another one. This is from an hour ago. He says, Attorney General Garland, Lisa Monaco, Matt Colangelo, now working at the DA's office to get Trump. Deranged Jack Smith, and of course Biden himself, who's losing to me in the polls by a lot, are all Trump haters. Jack Smith's wife, Katie Chevigny, is the biggest hater of them all. There's no way they can treat me fairly, but we will win and make America great again. Okay, but here's the thing, Trump, and this isn't obviously to Trump. First of all, obviously, he's not going to see this. Second of all, it's not like it would change his mind. But the thing about you being indicted is it was presented to a grand jury, right? A grand jury has to look at the evidence and see if it's enough to indict you, and apparently it was. So you shouldn't necessarily be blaming the prosecutors, you should be blaming the grand jury, or, even better, yourself for committing crimes. Here's another one from an hour ago. They all spied on my campaign, so nothing is beyond them. P-Meal, thanks for gifting 5 Tier 1 subs. Appreciate it very much. Strange! Everything about the boxes was so neat, orderly, and clean. Did the FBI trip over the one box? The way that they staged the papers on the floor during the raid of Mar-a-Lago, only to apologize after getting caught? There are images that were taken during the search of his place at Mar-a-Lago, showing the documents in very unsecured places. Mew the Best says, I think it's pronounced, Shavini. Also, do you think Trump will see prison? I honestly have no idea. This is so unprecedented, I don't know. Like, generally I would say no, but, like, this is so overwhelming in terms of the evidence against him, I really don't know how it's gonna go. There's just no thing to compare this to. P-Meal says Pat Robertson's death and Trump indictment. What a great Pride Month. I know, right? Oh, and GameStop's earnings came out and they lost $50 million, so the meme stock people are mad. It's been a real good week for me. And the crypto stuff going on, it's awesome. The box on the floor, which was opened, who opened it? Clearly shows there were no documents, but rather newspapers, personal pictures, etc. Witch hunt. Oh my god. Biden moved his boxes all over the place, including to Chinatown. What? And up to his lawyer's office in Boston. Why isn't deranged Jack Smith looking at that? I can explain this. This is a deflection that you've probably already seen many times today and yesterday. But, Biden, when it was found that there were classified documents in his possession, he immediately turned them over to the federal government and complied with an investigation that's still ongoing. It was probably a mistake in filing, basically, and taking the wrong things. Based on the evidence, we know Donald Trump took these classified things intentionally, knew they were classified, knew he didn't unclassify them before he left office, and knew that he shouldn't be showing them to people, but he was anyway. Trump was called, like, 6 months before the raid of his place. And the federal government was like, hey, we know you have these. Please give them back. If he had done that, nothing would have happened. It would have been a one-day newspaper story. Oh, Donald Trump caught having documents or whatever. We all would have moved on. But for whatever reason, he didn't do this. I'm shaking my ears and it's jingling so much. I'm sorry. I'll try and not move my head. Yeah, there's audio evidence of him saying he couldn't declassify them. I'm aware. It's clearly a post hoc rationalization. Terradona says it's Pride Surprise Week, so many chuds getting hit with consequences, actual or potential. So anyway, he straight up lied and said he didn't have them and refused to give anything back. That's why they came to his place and took them forcibly. Because you refused to give them back and were lying about even what you had. That's the issue. If Biden did that, I would also agree, hey, indict that person. Cool. That's great. But that's not what happened. I've just learned that the thugs from the Department of Injustice, ooh, got him, will be indicting a wonderful man, Walt Nauta, a member of the U.S. Navy who served proudly with me in the White House, retired as senior chief, and then transitioned into private life as a personal aide. He's done a fantastic job. They're trying to destroy his life like the lives of so many others, hoping that he'll say bad things about Trump. He is strong, brave, and a great patriot. The FBI and DOJ are corrupt. I think he's worried about allies flipping on him. Hydrate. One second. Thanks, Batman, over 900. Fennikagami says, my personal belief is that this will be delayed using stall tactics until 2024 is decided, while he dies the death of 1,000 cuts. If he loses, he'll go to jail because all his connections will have proof he's no longer useful to them, so no one protects him anymore. Then the Republicans will use him as a martyr to try and get control of his base after he dies. It's possible. This is going to be weird. Is this election going to just turn into a referendum on whether or not Trump can go to jail? I knew this election season was going to be a shit show, but if this is literally basically going to be, are we going to elect Donald Trump and let him be an emperor and pardon himself? Or are we not going to do that? Make sure you vote, everyone. Jubilee Helix, thanks for a link.
What I find so remarkably disturbing about this indictment with President Trump is how Clinton did it. Hell, his declassified documents, which only the president has power to do. We seemingly forgotten that.
Trump already on audio recording admitted he didn't declassify these things, though. So you're wrong.
His declassified classified documents were
There are already presidential candidates promising to pardon him. Not shocking.
located in
I don't even know why they're talking about Bill Clinton. Fucking arrest Bill Clinton. I don't give a shit. Fucking do it. Fuck Bill Clinton. Like, you think I like Bill Clinton? It doesn't have anything to do with like or dislike anyway. Crimes are crimes. Any politician that commits crimes and there is evidence of, you should indict them. Good. Trump happens to be one of those. Whataboutism isn't going to stop that.
an abandoned car dealership in Arkansas. Obama did it, and Joe Biden did it, even though he didn't have presidential power at that time to do so. And where were his documents? In his garage next to his Corvette. But Donald Trump declassifies the documents, doing the same that Obama, Clinton, and even Biden shouldn't have even done. He puts them in a safe.
Shouldn't have even done. This is such a weird... It feels like even she's trying to mental gymnastics try and explain how she thinks Trump is okay for what he did, but Biden and Clinton are bad. This feels weird. Somebody in the comments says, Hannah, do you think Trump can just say that it wasn't him on the tape and get off clean? He's the leader of the Christian Western world, so I can see it working out for him. Trump has a... How do I put this? Trump has a very distinctive voice, so I doubt it. And also, I would imagine that they're going to have testimony from the other people on the recording, one of which is a staffer. Some of them are staffers, and I know they've been interviewed. If they can corroborate that he said that, it's over. I've not shown the bathroom pictures yet, no. Gnome Pickle says, right after Trump got elected, I played a tabletop game where it was 50 years later and we were members of the Trump Dynasty troubleshooting, find trouble and shoot it team. We knew the Emperor Trump era was coming.
And he gets indicted? Nothing tells me that the DNC will stop at nothing to prevent...
The DNC isn't the Department of Justice. What are you people talking about? This is so weird that they're making this a partisan thing. Fuck off. He committed crimes.
Donald Trump from running for president again. Hell, if Donald Trump is in prison, I'd vote for him. Know that.
I'm sure you would. You seem like a piece of shit.
He's got my vote. Nothing you guys can do.
Okay. God damn, these people are nuts. Okay, let's look at some of the others. Oh, well, let's look through some of the document. Let's see what we can find that's interesting. I've seen stuff clipped out on Twitter, but I'll have to look at it myself. Introduction. What is this called again? United States of America versus Donald Trump and Waltine Nauta. Oh boy. The grand jury charges that at times material to this indictment on or about the dates and approximate times stated below. 1. Defendant Donald J. Trump was the 45th President of the United States of America. He held office from January 20th, 2017 until January 20th, 2021. As president, Trump had lawful access to the most sensitive classified documents and national defense information gathered and owned by the United States of America, including information from the agencies that comprise the United States intelligence community and the United States Department of Defense. 2. Over the course of his presidency, Trump gathered newspapers, press clippings, letters, notes, cards, photographs, official documents, and other materials in cardboard boxes that he kept in the White House. Among the materials Trump stored in his boxes were hundreds of classified documents. Excuse me. The classified documents Trump stored in his boxes included information regarding defense and weapons capabilities of both the United States and foreign countries. United States nuclear programs, potential vulnerabilities of the United States and its allies to militarize attack, and plans for possible retaliation in response to a foreign attack. The unauthorized disclosure of these classified documents could put at risk the national security of the United States, foreign relations, the safety of the United States military, and human sources and the continued viability of sensitive intelligence collection methods. Atheist Brony with 200 bits says, remember when Trump said he could just shoot someone and not lose a vote? I sometimes think that's all true. Even if the person Trump shoots is one of his voters, they drag their dying ass to the polls to vote for him. Yep. How much do I want to bet he was selling access? There's no allegations of that in this document, to my knowledge. I almost... It's possible. He's certainly not above selling America's secrets to make money. I think it's probably even stupider. I think Donald Trump is the kind of sycophantic, crazy narcissist that wants people to like him so much, even though he acts like he's top shit. He probably, like, when people visited, would go like, hey, you want to see all the documents I have? I have so many documents. I was the president. Look, here's a thing signed by Kim Jong-un. Look, here's a document I signed about nuclear things. Like, I think he's just that dumb. It's not a tank top, by the way. It's a dress, and it has pockets. Dress with pockets. It's got pocket dress. Gitara with 50 bits says, hey Hannah, did you see that DeSantis' campaign team used an AI-generated image of Trump and Anthony Fauci kissing? They were basically trying to imply that Trump was too weak and capitulated to COVID-19 guidelines while Florida did not. I think DeSantis didn't realize that the number of citizens dying because of your policies or lack thereof isn't a high score to be beaten. I saw that. A lot of the Trump supporters are really mad about it. Okay, At 12 p.m. on January 20th, 2021, Trump ceased to be president. As he departed the White House, Trump caused scores of boxes, many of which contained classified documents, to be transported to the Mar-a-Lago Club in Palm Beach, Florida, where he maintained his residence. Trump was not authorized to possess or retain those classified documents. Pat Robertson dies and Trump is indicted. Every lefty on the internet right now. Let's take a look.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Ooh, I need to watch Mad Max Fury Road again. What a good-ass movie. Gnome Pickles says, the stupidest thing I've heard is, well, there was Secret Service there and security had it secure. Protecting documents is so different, after all. What do people bring to a meetup with public figures? Oh yeah, cameras. Dude has documents would be safer mailed to the embassies of other nations. Let's see. The Mar-a-Lago Club was an active social club which between January 2021 and August 2022 hosted events for tens of thousands of members and guests. After Trump's presidency, the Mar-a-Lago Club was not an authorized location for storage, possession, review, display, or discussion of classified documents. Nevertheless, Trump stored his boxes containing classified documents at various locations at the Mar-a-Lago Club, including a ballroom, a bathroom, and a shower, an office space, his bedroom, and a storage room. It's just all over the place. It's not even like in one specific place. It's just randomly strewed about the fucking place. Good lord. You've never seen any of the Mad Max movies? Is that a problem? I mean, it's not a problem, but they're good movies. I'd recommend them. The first one was done in the 70s for a low budget. It was an independent film. So if you decide to watch the first one, I would say, bear in mind, it's a slow, independent movie about revenge, right? You might want to start with Mad Max 2, The Road Warrior, if the first one isn't doing it for you. But yeah, they're all pretty good. I like the first one personally, but I get people who don't. Road Warrior, Beyond Thunderdome, and Fury Road are all great. Fury Road's the best one, though. On two occasions... Sorry, I gotta drink some water. By the way, chat, did I tell you that I'm planning when I go to Pride later this month? If there's any, like, people protesting gay stuff. If there are any right-wing assholes, I'm taking my juggling balls and my kazoo, and I'm gonna go in front of them and just start juggling and singing the circus song with my kazoo. I think it's funny. Anyway. His stash of documents looks like a joke in an 80s movie about how many porn magazines teenagers have. True. Oh, Broha's bringing me a fucking awesome movie tomorrow, too. He found a copy of, why am I blanking on his name? Lord of the Rings man. Director. Why am I blanking on the director of Lord of the Rings? Good lord. Someone will tell me. Anyway, Broha found one of his early films. Peter Jackson, thank you. Found, Bad Taste on DVD Very exciting. It's one of 50,000. This is a relatively hard thing to find, so exciting. It's not Dead Alive. Dead Alive's good. But anyway. On 2 occasions in 2021, Trump showed classified documents to others as follows. I was so fucking right. This is the first time I've read this document. I've read snippets from later in the document that are like transcripts of audio, but I didn't see this part. In July 2021, at Trump National Golf Course in Bedminster, New Jersey, during an audio-recorded meeting with a writer, a publisher, and 2 members of his staff, none of whom possessed a security clearance, Trump showed and described a, quote, plan of attack that Trump said was prepared for him by the Department of Defense and a senior military official. Trump told the individuals that the plan was highly confidential and secret. Trump also said, as president, I could have declassified it, and now I can't, you know, but this is still a secret. End quote. This is the dumbest crime. This is the dumbest fucking crime. Like, the bar is so high to prosecute Trump because he's a former president. Now, I don't think that should happen. I think the rule of law should be absolute, and I think it's ridiculous that he's clearly being treated with kid gloves. I'm pretty amazed, though, that even with the bar being so high, he's surpassed it. On recording, he admitted to crimes. Not only crimes, but admitted he didn't declassify it, which has been his post hoc defense. Oh, I secretly declassified it. It's recorded that you said that's not true! You fucking idiot! This is beautiful. Okay. And the second one, in August or September 2021 at the Bedminster Club, Trump showed a representative of his political action committee who did not possess a security clearance a classified map related to a military operation and told the representative that he should not be showing it to the representative and that the representative should not get too close. This is what I'm talking about! And these are just the ones we know about, to be clear. I'm sure this isn't the only time. He wants to impress people. He's literally just being like, guess what I got? I was the president. Look at all this fucking classified shit that I have. Look at how impressive I am. It's his own fucking ego and narcissism. It's so bizarre. This is amazingly pathological. Like, this is sick. This is a sick man in his fucking brain. Tea with Goblin says Fury Road was shot in, Namibia, but they promoted it in Sydney by having the war rig and accompanying fleet of cars and war boys all over Sydney. It made boomers very unhappy about the blocked traffic. Totally worth it. Sorry for off topic. It's fine. Ooh, scary. Oh, they got the guitar guy. Guitar guy's my favorite. Anyway, back to the president being indicted. Former president. It baffles you that former president talks like a damned third grader. I think most Americans have an average 5th grade reading level, so it makes a lot of sense when you think about his base, who tend to be either below average or people who understand the grift and know it's just about cutting taxes for rich assholes. His name's Doof Warrior. I apologize that I don't know the name of the guitar guy from Mad Max 4. On March 30th, 2022, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, I like that, I know it's a legal document, so you have to be incredibly clear on everything, but it's funny to me that they wrote Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, opened a criminal investigation into the unlawful retention of classified documents at the Mar-a-Lago Club. A federal grand jury investigation began the next month. The grand jury issued subpoenas requiring Trump to turn over all documents with classified markings. Trump endeavored to obstruct the FBI and grand jury investigations and conceal his continued retention of classified documents by, among other things... You want him to represent himself in court? It would be great. That would be beautiful. And Grimthorpe says the rule of law is absolute, but I've never seen someone shoplift essentials and never will. Yeah, yep. That's pretty much how I feel about it. Juggle? Okay. Here are the things he did to obstruct. A, suggesting that his attorney falsely represent to the FBI and grand jury that Trump did not have documents called for by the grand jury subpoena. Direct the defendants Walty Nauta to move boxes of documents to conceal them from Trump's attorney, the FBI, and the grand jury. So he not only was hiding the fact that he had these documents, or trying to hide it and lie about it to the FBI, but he was lying to his own lawyers. Suggesting his attorney hide or destroy documents called for by grand jury subpoena. Ooh, spoliation! Providing the FBI and grand jury just some of the documents called for by the grand jury subpoena while claiming he was cooperating fully. And E, causing a certification to be submitted to the FBI and grand jury falsely representing that all documents called for by the grand jury subpoena had been produced, while knowing that, in fact, not all such documents had been produced. Woof. Same lady? Oh, God.
They want to take control of this country. They want one-party rule. And they have...
What's so crazy here is if you think they can't do the same thing to you, you're sadly mistaken. This is...
Yes, if you steal and lie about having classified documents that have to do with America's nuclear capabilities, you will also be indicted. That's not a new thing.
Really similar to when that guy ran against Vladimir Putin and Putin had him jailed. You see...
Biden isn't having Trump indicted. Trump is being indicted by the FBI and the Department of Justice because of crimes he committed. The director of the FBI is a Trump appointee.
Donald Trump.
Have I always juggled? I've known how to juggle since high school.
Didn't do anything.
It was something I did for a talent day. I knew before then. But my mom was a bank manager, and she got this, like, management bullshit tape. It's like a bullshit management program, how to manage things. And it came with, like, juggling balls and a DVD on how to juggle and do basic tricks and stuff. It was supposed to be like a metaphor for how to manage and teach people something. I don't even know what the fucking metaphor was. But either way, I didn't pay attention to that stuff. I just paid attention to the tutorial on how to juggle, and I found I really liked it. So, it's a good stim, if I'm being honest.
Wrong. He was allowed to declassify those documents. When you're president, you have the power and the authority.
Oh yeah, her audio's terrible.
To declassify classified documentation. He had them in the safe. He was working with the FBI, and then all of a sudden, they reneged. Now, Joe Biden and the authority to declassify classified documentation. He had them in the safe. He was working with the FBI, and then all of a sudden, they reneged.
I don't think she's saying that word right.
Now, Joe Biden, he did not have the power to declassify documents.
Because it stands for renegotiated, so it would be reneged. That is not what it sounded like she said.
And he did anyways. And he also kept those where? Oh, in his garage next to his Corvette. Huh. I just wonder, when will Biden or Hunter
They're still on about Hunter Biden. Goddamn.
Biden's grandchildren who got millions of dollars from the Chinese Communist Party. When will they be indicted? Hillary? Obama? Nobody?
It's almost like all your accusations are baseless. Crazy. Okay, back to the thing. She would have a Freudian slip. Let's see. As a result, I'm having trouble talking today. Wonder why. Maybe I'm a little amped. I don't know. I'm excited about this stuff, but who knows. They're envious of his giant cock. He does have a big dick? I took my meds. I'm good on my meds. And buttery males! I love buttery males. And buttery females. And buttery NBs. Maybe I just like butter. Sweetie Yoshi says, personally, I think if Trump goes to jail, it can really help the Democrats. Then and if they continue running on anti-trans stuff, but what about Hunter Biden? Because no one cares when eggs are like $16. Yeah. I know that there are Republicans who are like, this is just, or I think I've seen people fear-mongering and saying, like, this is just going to make him a martyr and whatever. To his base, sure. But the last election was already a referendum on Trump, right? And he lost. This time it's going to go into hyperdrive. I'm sure his base will be incredibly riled up, although some of them think voting's not real anymore anyway, because of all of the election fraud stuff he pushed. So maybe they won't vote. But the point is, I think that there are more people in this country who would vote to make sure a criminal like Donald Trump doesn't become the president again, especially now that it's this evident, than there are people who are riled up about his bullshit, you know? Like, at this point, I don't think in 2024, 2023, whatever, I don't think Trump is getting new followers. I think it's just the same people maybe being more riled up. Sume says, hello, bottoms. Daddy is home from his first day at his new job. I'm exhausted. I love you all. Did you bring us tacos? Did you bring us tacos? And if you didn't, why didn't you bring us tacos? Hydrate. I have too much faith in Americans? Maybe. Maybe I do. It's my medications. They've made me less pessimistic. I already have a taco? I fucking wish. Alright. As a result of Trump's retention of classified documents after his presidency and refusal to return them, hundreds of classified documents were not recovered by the United States government until 2022, as follows. On January 17th, nearly 1 year after Trump left office, and after months of demands by the National Archives and Records Administration for Trump to provide all missing presidential records, Trump provided only 15 boxes, which contained 197 documents with classification markings. On June 3rd, in response to a grand jury subpoena demanding the production of all documents with classified markings, Trump's attorneys provided to the FBI 38 more documents with classified markings. And on August 8th, pursuant to a court-authorized search warrant, the FBI recovered from Trump's office and a storage room at the Mar-a-Lago Club 102 more documents with classified markings. Jesus Christ. Meek says, Sume, the man who's so masculine, he even domed Jake. Oh god, is that true? Jesus. Did you get banned from Jake's chat? Anyway. Trump's co-conspirator. Defendant Nauta was a member of the United States Navy stationed as a valet in the White House during Trump's presidency. Beginning in August 2021, Nauta became an executive assistant in the office of Donald J. Trump and served as Trump's personal aide or body man. Nauta reported to Trump, who worked closely with Trump and traveled with Trump, so he was like one of Trump's fixers. Yikerinos. The Mar-a-Lago Club was located on South Ocean Boulevard in Palm Beach, Florida. I think that's where my uncle lives. And it included Trump's residence, more than 25 guest rooms, 2 ballrooms, a spa, a gift store, exercise facilities, office space, and an outdoor pool and patio. As of January 2021, the Mar-a-Lago Club had hundreds of members and was staffed by more than 150 full-time, part-time, and temporary employees. Sume says, no, jerkface, I'm VIP in his chat because he loves me. Is that true? Surprising to me. I get why I put up with it. I'm a pushover. Trump has probably lost some moderates from January 6th, some moderates from this, and some from this base from attacking DeSantis. And you can't even, like, and think about this. Think of how many Republicans died of COVID compared to independents and Democrats who were willing to get vaccinated. You know what I mean? I think his demographics are worse in 2024 than they were in the last election. And he lost the last one. Again, I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm not crazy. I'm not overly confident. I understand. It's still entirely possible that this country will elect Donald Trump again. Who knows? But I think this makes it less likely, not more, which is good. Between January 2021 and August 2022, the Mar-a-Lago Club hosted more than 150 social events, including weddings, movie premieres, and fundraisers that together drew tens of thousands of guests. How bad were the movies that premiered at Mar-a-Lago? They must have been like Dinesh D'Souza type bullshit, right? Basically right-wing propaganda. The United States Secret Service, the Secret Service, thanks, helpful. My mouth is so dry. God, the jokes that come into my head. I'm glad I have a filter now. The United States Secret Service provided protection services to Trump and his family after he left office, including at the Mar-a-Lago club, but it was not responsible for the protection of Trump's boxes or their contents. Trump did not inform the Secret Service that he was storing boxes containing classified documents at the Mar-a-Lago club. National security information was information owned by, produced by, for or under the control of the United States government, pursuant to Executive Order 12958, signed on April 17, 1995, as amended by Executive Order 13292 on March 25, 2003, and Executive Order 13526 on December 29, 2009, national security information was classified as top secret, secret, or confidential as follows. A. Information was classified as top secret if the unauthorized disclosure of that information reasonably could be expected to cause exceptionally grave damage to the national security that original classification authority was able to identify or describe. Sorry, somebody in the comments. Let me take a look. Somebody in the comments says, I present the Trump Prosecution Protection Act. If any politician is tried for a crime, they get to name an opponent who will also be charged with the same crime. Republicans. Information was classified as secret if the unauthorized disclosure of that information reasonably could be expected to cause serious damage to national security that the original classification authority was able to identify or describe. C. Information was classified as confidential if the unauthorized disclosure of that information reasonably could be expected to cause damage to the national security that the original classification authority was able to identify or describe. Don't make jokes about prison assault. Not cool. Also, it's just gross. Don't do that. Not cool. Like, jokes about assault like that aren't funny. Not cool. Do whatever I'm not telling you what to do personally, but don't do it in this chat. That's what I have to tell you. Don't do it in this chat. It's not allowed. Okay. The classification markings no foreign stood for no reasonable, or rather, I'm sorry, not releasable to foreign nationals, and denoted that dissemination of that information was limited to United States persons. Joking about assault in general is not good. Yeah. Sorry, why am I feeling short of breath today? How weird. Classified information related to intelligence sources, methods, and analytical processes was designated as sensitive. I'm going to try and get to some of the actual evidence. This is interesting, and I think it's important. It's obviously important for the crime to make sure that it like hits all the things for the crime as written, so you can be prosecuted. But like, you get it. Oh, here's some public statements he made. On August 18th, 2016, Trump stated, "In my administration, I'm going to enforce all laws concerning the protection of classified information. No one will be above the law." Do I think there's any connection between Trump's documents and the Russian invasion of Ukraine? Because if so, it could be much worse for him. I don't think so. I don't think so. At least there's been no official accusations of anything like that. Would I be surprised if it turned out that Trump had purposefully or just by being an idiot gave some information to Russia? It wouldn't surprise me, but it's not been even alleged by this document, so I'm going to say no as of right now. There's no evidence for that. Though I hope it's being investigated. Gnome Pickle says, it happened to me when I got my anxiety under control. I think it might be your body used to being under stress of ADHD brain and some aftershocks. Just focus a bit on breathing and it should feel better. Yeah, the air quality's not good. I'm just going to take a couple deep breaths. Maybe do it with me, chat. Maybe this will be good for your state of mind, too. On September 6, 2016, Trump stated, "We also need to fight this battle by collecting intelligence and then protecting our classified secrets. We can't have someone in the Oval Office who doesn't understand the meaning of the word confidential or classified." On September 7th, 2016, Trump stated, "One of the first things we must do is to enforce all classification rules and to enforce all laws relating to the handling of classified information." On September 19th, 2016, Trump stated, "We also need the best protection of classified information." There was one meeting Trump had with Putin and didn't allow anyone else in the room. Yeah, I remember that. Michigan did get hit with the smoke from the Canadian wildfires. I could smell it yesterday. Baja's been able to smell it all of the days because she has more sensitive... I guess she has more sensitive olfactory nerves than me or something. She can smell things quicker than I can, so... That's unfortunate. She also has asthma, so... You know. On November 3rd, 2016, Trump stated service members here in North Carolina have risked their lives to acquire classified intelligence to protect our country. And then, as President of the United States, on July 26th, 2018, Trump issued the following statement about classified information. "As the head of the executive branch and commander-in-chief, I have a unique constitutional responsibility to protect the nation's classified information, including by controlling access to it. More broadly, the issue, a former executive branch official's security clearance, raises larger questions about the practice of former officials maintaining access to our nation's most sensitive secrets long after their time in government has ended. Such access is particularly inappropriate when former government officials have transitioned into highly partisan positions and seek to use real or perceived access to sensitive information to validate their political attacks. Any access granted to our nation's secrets should be in furtherance of national, not personal interests." Staggering hypocrisy on the bingo card. In January 2021, as he was preparing to leave the White House, Trump and his White House staff, including Nauta, packed items, including some of Trump's boxes. Trump was personally involved in this process. Trump caused his boxes, containing hundreds of classified documents, to be transported from the White House to the Mar-a-Lago Club. From January through March 15th, 2021, some of Trump's boxes were stored in the Mar-a-Lago Club's white and gold ballroom in which events and gatherings took place. Trump's boxes were, for a time, stacked on the ballroom stage as depicted in the photograph below, redacted to obscure individuals' identity. There's a higher-res version of this. There's actually a higher-res version of a lot of this. Let me take a look if I can find it. Trump document photos. I'm sure these are all over the place at this point. Yeah. This is the same picture, but in full color, because it doesn't have to be, you know, black and white in a court system. Oh, sorry. I'm so Michigan. Oh! Let me just go indict you there. Okay, so these are just classified documents he has sitting on a small stage somewhere at Mar-a-Lago. This is just where they sat, I guess, where anyone could get to them if they found that room. Here's the bathroom. The bathroom is full of all these documents. I don't know if you can see in the window there too, but the reflection in the window shows the shower itself is also full of boxes, stacked up to the height of the windows at least. Can we also just talk about how, I know this is a thing other people have brought up, this is the tackiest fucking bathroom I've ever seen. The fuck is this? When we will see MAGA TikTok cope? Soon. I'm making sure everyone has the background for this. It's fine. We're only an hour in. I'm probably streaming for 4 hours. We're fine. Lumi, how you doing? Welcome. Welcome, everyone. What a good day. What a good day to be a decent human being. So hi everyone, if you're from the raid, I'm Hannah. I am a trans leftist variety streamer. Today we're looking at the Trump indictment and what it entails, some of the evidence involved, and also looking at the response some of the MAGA people have. We're having a good time celebrating, laughing at how stupid the crime is. So hang out, it's a great community, join the Discord. And my chat, if you haven't followed Lumi, Lumi's great. Follow them. Can we get a... well, there's already a link in chat. Great. Everyone follow Lumi. Yes. We're looking at the photos right now that most of you have probably seen at this point. Oh look, Here's some in a closet, it appears, that have spilled out all over the floor. So that's good. Hope it's fun today. I'm having a great time. I hope you had a good stream, Lumi. So that's good. In March 2021, Nauta and others moved some of Trump's boxes from the white and gold ballroom to the business center at the Mar-a-Lago Club. On April 5th, 2021, an employee of the office of Donald J. Trump, Trump employee number 1, texted another employee of that office, Trump employee number 2, to ask whether Trump's boxes could be moved out of the business center to make room for staff to use it as an office. Trump employee 2 replied, "Whoa, okay, so POTUS specifically asked Walt for those boxes to be in the business center because they are his papers." Later that day, Trump employee 1 and 2 exchanged the following text message. Hydrate. Don't be creepy, Sume. I'm not saying you have. I'm just saying, watch it. I've got my eye on you. What's his defense gonna be? He has already bragged about doing this exactly multiple times. I don't know. I really don't. I don't know what his defense... I think he's probably gonna still try and go with I declassified them. But the thing is, A, he didn't go through the proper channels. His entire claim is based on the fact that he is claiming that he can just declassify things by thinking about it, which is not how it's supposed to work. You're supposed to fill out paperwork and it's supposed to go through something. And secondly, he's on audio recording saying he knows he shouldn't have these things and that he didn't classify them before he left office, which we already went through in the document. So, lemon-scented neurotoxin, thanks for gifting a sub to Broha. Speedy Yoshi says, "My Strange Addiction, illegal edition," cut to Trump with his face blurred out. "I'm addicted to taking classified documents. I'm the best at it." Hats off. What about Bob? What do you want me to wear for the hats off? Let me see if you said anything yet. You did not. Crown? Okay, I'm just gonna add... no, I'll take this off and I'll do the full crown. The jingliness might annoy some people. Yes, for these charges, I should be clear about that. I didn't say that. The charges aren't that he kept necessarily classified documents. The charges themselves, many of them, are just involving being irresponsible regardless of the classification of the documents. Which is smart. Gnome Pickle says, "One of the excuses I heard was that he was going to write a book using the documents, which it looked like going to the bank you just robbed and trying to deposit the money." Like, even if that was true, like... former presidents generally keep their security clearance, right? And they're sometimes updated on things. If he was writing a book and really wanted those things, I'm sure he could get access to what he wanted. They would just have to be stored in a secure place, like at some sort of federal archives building that's supposed to hold confidential documents, and he could go there and use them as reference. But let's be real, Trump's not going to write a book anyway. He uses ghostwriters. Ghostwriter. Now I'm thinking about the show. H. Baird says, "If Trump needs this much reading material in the bathroom, his weird obsession with needing to flush a dozen times is starting to make sense." Let's see. Here are the text messages. "We can definitely make it work if we move his papers into the lake room?" Trump employee 1. "There's still a little room in the shower where his other stuff is. Is it only his papers he cares about? There's some other stuff in there that are not papers. Could that go to storage, or does he want everything on the property?" Trump employee 2. "Yes, anything that's not the beautiful anything that's not the beautiful mined paper boxes can definitely go to storage. Want to take a look at the space start moving tomorrow AM? What's a beautiful mined paper box? What? Moira Soma, thanks for gifting a sub. After the text exchange between Trump employee 1 and 2, in April 2021, some of Trump's boxes were moved from the business center to a bathroom and shower in Mar-a-Lago's club's lake room, as depicted in the photograph below, which of course I showed already, but there it is. In May 2021, Trump directed that a storage room on the ground floor of the Mar-a-Lago club, the storage room, be cleaned out so that it could be used to store his boxes. The hallway leading to the storage room could be reached from multiple outside entrances, including one accessible from the Mar-a-Lago Club pool patio through a doorway that was often kept open. God damn it. The storage room was near the liquor supply closet, linen room, lock shop, and various other rooms. On June 24th, 2021, Trump's boxes that were in the lake room were moved to the storage room. After the move, there were more than 80 boxes in the storage room as depicted in the photograph below. I don't think we saw those photographs in this article. Let me see if I can find those ones. Is Google not want to work on me? There we go. Istanbul, not Constantinople. Yes, it's Istanbul, not Constantinople. If you're having a date in Constantinople, she'll be waiting in Istanbul. There's more. There we go. Oh my god. That's a lot of boxes. Oh, crown, not flower crown. The Burger King crown. I apologize. Anti-Pretzel says, this is so stupid, I think we reached a new level. Idiocracy has nothing on this. Flat Booty, thanks for gifting a sub. I know they're the same photos in the court documents. I was just saying earlier I couldn't find this photo in color. Steve of the Q says, well, you gotta store your classified documents near your liquor. That's just being efficient. I am the Burger Queen. Dr. Campbell with a link.
Oh, don't you talk about my boxes. I like boxes.
On December 7th, 2021, Nauta found several of Trump's boxes fallen and their contents spilled onto the floor of the storage room, including a document marked Secret REL, which denoted that the information in the document was released only to the Five Eyes Intelligence Alliance consisting of Australia, Canada, New Zealand, the United Kingdom, and the United States. Nauta texted Trump employee 2, I opened the door and found this. Nauta also attached 2 photographs he took of the spill. Trump employee 2 replied, oh no, and I'm sorry POTUS had my phone. One of the photographs Nauta texted to Trump employee 2 is depicted below with the visible classified information redacted. Trump's unlawful retention of this document is charged in count 8 of this indictment. Yeah, this stream is not sponsored by Burger King, since I don't think they have money to sponsor anyone. Have you been to a Burger King lately? It's depressing. The chicken fries are good, though. In May 2021, Trump caused some of his boxes to be brought to his summer residence at the Bedminster Club. Like the Mar-a-Lago Club after Trump's presidency, the Bedminster Club was not authorized location for storage, possession, review, display, or discussion of declassified documents. Here's where Trump meets with this publisher after he's in the president. Here's the quotes. This is all on tape. Trump says, well, with the senior military official, let me see, I'll show you an example. He said that I wanted to attack country A. Isn't that amazing? I have a big pile of papers, and this thing just came up. Look, this was him. They presented me this. This is off the record, but they presented me this. This was him. This was the Defense Department and him. Writer. Wow. Trump. We looked at some. This was him. This wasn't done by me. This was him. All sorts of stuff, pages long. Look. Staffer. Trump. Wait a minute. Let's see here. Staffer. Laughter. Trump. I just found. Isn't it amazing? This totally wins my case, you know. Staffer. Trump. Except, it's like, highly confidential. Staffer. Yeah. Trump. Secret. This is secret information. Look at this. You attack and then there's a redaction. This is cartoon level of stupid crime. Look, this is secret. I shouldn't be showing you this. He's such a dumb asshole. Trump, after the redaction of the classified information, says, by the way, isn't that incredible? Staffer says, yeah. Trump, I was just thinking, because we were talking about it, and you know, he said, He wanted to attack country A, and what? Staffer interrupts. You did. Trump. This was done by the military and given to me. I think we can probably, right? Staffer. I don't know. We'll have to see. Yeah, we'll have to try to Trump. Declassify it. Staffer. Figure out a... Yeah. Trump. See, as president, I could have declassified it. Staffer. Yeah. Trump. Now I can't, you know, but this is still a secret. Staffer. Yeah. Now we have a problem. Trump. Isn't that interesting? So in one conversation, multiple times, he points out that he shouldn't be showing this staffer this, and that it's highly confidential and includes military secrets, admits that he didn't declassify it before he left the presidency, and then reiterates that he absolutely should not have this stuff, and that he didn't declassify it. Like, if Trump was even had a little bit of intelligence or pragmatism, or could keep his ego in check, he could have gotten away with everything. He never would have faced any consequences. He's so dumb. He's so stupid. Ugh. You should write a fiction book about the conspiracies people have. This is a real-life conspiracy. One of the charges is conspiracy. You guys always wanted me to do a stream about real conspiracies since I debunk fake ones. There it is. This is what a real conspiracy looks like. It's generally pretty fucking stupid. Flat booty goth girlfriend, thanks for gifting a sub. In August or September 2021, when he was no longer president, Trump met in his office at the Bedminster Club with a representative of his political action committee. During that meeting, Trump commented that an ongoing military operation in Country B was not going well. Trump showed the PAC representatives a classified map of Country B and told PAC representatives that he should not be showing the map to PAC representatives and not get too close. The PAC representative did not have a security clearance or any need to know classified information about the military operation. Jesus Christ, he's so stupid. Dragory Term says, do you think Jillian Epperly's husband called her Jilly Bean when they were dating? Did they break up? Maybe. Rageology says, fun fact, the Five Eyes Intelligence Alliance of Australia, Canada, New Zealand, and the UK, and the US is more colloquially known in the intelligence community as simply, don't tell the French. That's kind of funny. Killjoy says, I worked in food service as a waiter for a couple of years before college. I once had to deal with a couple who were going through a divorce at an Applebee's, and the husband asked me to comment on the situation. That staffer had a more awkward time than me. Congrats on Trump doing the impossible. Half-off apps, though. If you're gonna get divorced, you might as well enjoy half-price mozzarella sticks, right? I need to buy some mozzarella sticks, goddamn. Have you guys ever had the mozzarella sticks that have marinara in them? Would recommend. Buy an air fryer. On February 16th, 2017, 4 years before Trump's disclosure of classified information set forth above, Trump said at a press conference, the first thing I thought of when I heard about it is how does the press get this information that's classified? How do they do it, you know? Why? Because it's an illegal process, and the press should be ashamed of themselves. But more importantly, the people that gave out the information to the press should be ashamed of themselves. Really ashamed. Okay. Are there any more quotes? Because that's what I'm interested in, is mostly the actual text. Oh yeah, here's some more text messages. On November 25th, Trump employee 2 texted Nana about Trump's review of the contents of his boxes, asking, has he mentioned boxes to you? I delivered some, but I think he may need more. Could you ask if he'd like more in Pine Hall? Pine Hall was an entry room in Trump's residence. Nana replied in 3 successive text messages, nothing about boxes yet. He has one he's working on in Pine Hall, knocked out 2 boxes yesterday. Anti-Pretzel says, the paddy wagon is Trump, SpongeBob and Patrick are Trumpers. The frogfish is the law, and the giant eel, consequences of his actions. On November 29th, 2021, Trump employee 2 texted Nauta asking, "Next, you're on property. No rush. Could you help me bring 4 more boxes up?" Nauta replied, "Yes, of course." On December 29th, Trump employee 2 texted Trump representative who was in contact with Nara, said, box answer will be wrenched out of him today. Promise." Next day, Trump representative 1 replied in 2 successive text messages, "Hey, just checking on the boxes. Would love to have a number to them today." Trump employee 2 spoke to Trump and then responded a few hours later in 2 successive text messages. Oh, I'm sorry. There was a tip. I apologize. Of some kind. What about Bob? Tips $2. Can you post the link in chat for me? I can't get to it when it's a tip. It doesn't let me hyperlink it or click it. There it is. Thank you for the $2, by the way.
I'm not a smart man.
I think Forrest Gump had a little more self-awareness than Trump, if I'm being honest. I might be experiencing the effects of Ritalin. It's a stimulant and might make you a bit out of breath. It's possible. I've been taking it for like a week, though, and it's been fine. So I don't know. I'm probably just amped up because of like how excited I am about all this. And it probably, you know, is being enhanced by the the Ritalin. Anyway. On January 13th, Nauta texted Trump employee 2 about Trump's tracking of boxes, stating, "He's tracking the boxes. More to follow today on whether he wants to go through more today or tomorrow." Trump employee 2 replied, "Thank you." On January 15th, 2022, Nauta sent Trump employee 2 4 successive text messages. One thing he asked was for new covers for the boxes for Monday morning. "Can we get new box covers before giving these to them on Monday? They have too much writing on them. I marked too much." Yes, I will get that. Oh, God. On January 17th, 2022, Trump employee 2 and Nauta gathered 15 boxes from Trump's residence, loaded with the boxes in Nauta's car, and took them to a commercial truck for delivery to Nara. When interviewed by the FBI in May 2022 regarding the location and movement of boxes before the production of Nara, Nauta made false and misleading statements as set forth in count 38 of the indictment, including A, falsely stating that he was not aware of Trump's boxes being brought to Trump's residence for his review before Trump provided 15 boxes to Nara in January 2022, B, falsely stating he did not know how the boxes that he and Trump employee 2 brought from Trump's residence to the commercial truck for delivery to Nara on January 17th had gotten to the residence, and C, when asked whether he knew where Trump's boxes had been stored before they were in Trump's residence and whether they had been in a secure or locked location, Nauta falsely responded, I wish I could tell you. I don't know. I honestly just don't know." In the business, that's what we call a lie. That's a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie? It's a crime to lie to the FBI. I don't know if you know this. Okay, let's see. Is there any more direct information stuff like that? More about them moving the boxes. The whole situation is fucked. Agreed. Hydrate. Trump and Attorney 1 discussed what to do with the red weld folder containing documents with classified markings and whether Trump Attorney 1 should bring them to his hotel room and put them in a safe there. During that conversation, Trump made a plucking motion as memorialized by Trump Attorney 1. Quote, "He made a funny motion as though, well, okay, why don't you take them with you to your hotel room, and if there's anything really bad in there, like, you know, pluck it out." And that was the motion that he made. He didn't say that. Rageology says, remember those years of his presidency when the debate was, is Trump as dumb as he seems, or is he actually a cunning mastermind? I remember. Jesus Christ. So let's see. In Trump's office, there were 6 top-secret documents, 18 secret, 3 confidential. In the storage room, there were 11 top-secret, 36 secret, 28 confidential. Wow. I think that's just a list of the documents, more or less. The evidence that was recovered. Conspiracy to obstruct justice. Ooh, that's a good one. Withholding a document or record. Corruptly concealing a document or record. Concealing a document in a federal investigation. Scheme to conceal. False statements and representations. More false statements and representations. Woo! Yay! Here's some stuff from Walter Nauta. Remember when centralists refused to impeach Trump because they claimed he'd learned his lesson? Oh, centrists. Yeah, fucking funny. One sec. In a matter within the jurisdiction of the executive branch of the United States government, did knowingly and willfully make a materially false, fictitious, and fraudulent statement and representation. That is, in a voluntary interview during a federal criminal investigation being conducted by the FBI, Nauta was asked the following questions and gave the following false answers. Question: does anyone, are you aware of, any boxes being brought to his home, his suite? Answer: no. You know, like a lie. Something, something perjury. Question: alright, so to the best of your knowledge, you're saying that those boxes that you brought onto the truck, first time you ever laid eyes on them was just the day of when Trump Employee 2 needed you to take them. Okay. There's a redacted section. Question: in knowing that we're trying to track the life of these boxes and where they could have been kept and stored and all of that kind of stuff, do you have any information that could help us understand, like where they were kept, how they were kept? Were they secured? Were they locked? Something that makes the intelligence community feel better about these things, you know? Answer: I wish. I wish I could tell you. I don't know. I don't. I honestly just don't know. Thank you, Brain Injured Gamer. I appreciate it. I feel a lot happier. Thanks for following, by the way. Question: and what? So you only saw the 15 boxes? 15, 17 boxes? Mm-hmm. Question: the day of the move, even they just showed up that day? Answer: they were in Pine Hall. Trump Employee 2 just asked me, hey, can we move some boxes? And I was like, okay. So you didn't know, had no idea how they got there before? Answer: no. Oh, beautiful. So, that is the indictment. I skipped over some of the stuff. You could look at it yourself if you'd like. Here are all the charges and the potential penalties for all of them. Let's see, counts 1 through 31, max term of imprisonment 10 years, mandatory minimum term of imprisonment, if applicable, not applicable. So this one doesn't have a minimum prison sentence. I'm actually not sure if there is a minimum for any of these, which is unfortunate. But either way, the minimum, how was I going to put this? Either way, it doesn't look good for him. Let's put it that way. The right-wing extremists are starting to turn on each other. Representative Andy Biggs says, we now have reached a war phase, eye for an eye. Oh, Lord. And this person says, the hope is whatever terrorism this inspires against the feds or government targets. But we should all be clear, the time for community defense planning and practice is here. If and when this spills to us instead of by the feds they blame, we must keep each other safe. Oof. What a dumb asshole. I'm wondering how blatant Trump is going to get with stochastic terrorism over the next 6 months. Because as he gets more and more desperate and the walls start to close in around him, I gotta imagine it's going to get worse. Killjoy says, so this is certainly funny, but for some actually good news, did you see the new maps for Congress that are likely to come out of this surprise good Supreme Court decision? Like 4 more seats for Democrats at minimum. Yes, it's fucking awesome. This has been an amazing week. What is going on? Did someone, like, find a genie or something? Like, what is happening? Rageology says, in further text messages, an aide said, Trump, you know, the former president, came up to me and said, I want to do crimes. Very obvious crimes. Crimes I know are crimes, but want to do this crime anyway. It's not that far off from what happened. Axel says, the way this document keeps specifying he falsely stated feels so sassy to me, and I love it. Oh, it's beautiful, I know. So let's see. Counts 1 through 32, max term of imprisonment, 10 years, no mandatory minimum. Max supervised release, 3 years, max fine, $250,000. That's not nothing. And I think each of those counts is separate, 1 through 31. So, like, those are all potentially 10 years and a $250,000 fine, not 31 collectively. So, Reno Redhead says it's the Pride Witches doing their Pride rituals. Most of them are trans. Count 32, conspiracy to obstruct justice, max term of imprisonment, 20 years, no mandatory minimum, max supervised release, 3 years, max fine, another $250,000. Count 33, withholding a document on record, same as the last one, same as the next one, and the next one. Scheme to conceal, max term of imprisonment is 5 years, no mandatory minimum, max supervised release 3 years, false statements and representations 5 years. Again, I don't think any of these have mandatory minimums, but they're all fines of like $250,000. Obstruct justice, max is 20 years, same as the rest, 20 years for the next one, 20, 20, and then 5 and 5. So these are like serious charges. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I hope they get a decent enough jury. It's in Florida, so who knows. Dr. Gamble with 50 bits puts a link.
Formed by California funk rock band, the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yo, the Chili's! I saw them in concert like 50 times. I once got arrested trying to steal Flea's bass guitar.
The Good Place is a good show. And Gnome Pickle says, how do they have no operational security? Yeah, just gonna discuss this over open, easily tapped, and easily recoverable channels. Hey, should we mail the FBI a transcript of what we say so they know when we commit perjury? Okay, so now to get to the reactions. You have a basis for what this is all about. Now let's get into some of the reactions of different Trump MAGA type people.
If I were the commandant of the Marine Corps, okay, what I would do is order every single Marine assigned to the Marine Corps barracks to go grab freaking Biden, throw him in freaking zip ties into the back of a freaking pickup truck, okay, and get him out of the White House. I would.
You're describing a military coup and a kidnap of the President of the United States? That didn't even work for the plot of National Treasure 2. It certainly doesn't work in your Bizarro world.
I'd order that right now.
Feels illegal? Oh yeah, this guy's probably going to get a visit from the Secret Service. They take threats against the president incredibly seriously. Like, even if it's a quote-unquote joke. Like, they take that shit very seriously.
And if the Marines don't do it, as a matter of fact, can I call the freaking Marine Corps right now?
I don't think the Marine Corps has a singular phone number.
Oh. Commandant of the Marine Corps?
I have to tell you something. If I was in charge of a department there, and let's say I was in the 3 or 4 star general level, I would probably walk.
What weird LARPing. If I was a 4 or 5 star general. Well, you're not. And you don't have the knowledge of someone who is. So maybe shut the fuck up.
Walk in and shoot Millie in the head, and I would aggressively take over the entire group.
Yeah.
If it were legal.
Right.
If it were legal. Is that his cover? Is that him trying to cover for the very illegal things he's saying?
Group.
Yeah.
If it were legal.
Right.
There's no universe where murder is illegal. Or is legal, rather. Reno Redhead says, do these people think Marines can just go into the White House and do shit? The Secret Service aren't just for show. Dr. Gamble with 100 bits.
Hi, I'm Trevor Moore.
Oh yeah, we gotta watch this. This guy's great. He unfortunately died recently. He was... Okay, what else were these things? Speedy Yoshi with 50 bits says the Marine Corps doesn't, but the Navy does.
Hello, operator. Get me the Navy.
Hello. You've reached the Navy's automated phone service.
Squidward, the robots are running the Navy.
Batman also called the Navy once. Let's see. There is a specific department like the FBI or CIA to protect the president. It's the INS and has a disabled veteran. And as a disabled veteran, even I think they're scary as fuck. Isn't that the Secret Service's job, along with counterfeiting? Gnome Pickle says some of the reading material for later on joke threats against POTUS. 2014. Cracked used to be so good. When the Cracked writing staff was full of people like Cody Johnston and Maggie Mae Fish, they started on Cracked. It was so good. I used to love Cracked. And now it sucks. Sheba Hawk says, I just joined, but today is a great day for American Mango Mussolini is going to prison. Oh, it's beautiful, I know, right?
And I would take him out.
And Daniel O'Brien. There's a ton of people from that, like, that wave of Cracked writers that have gone on to do such great stuff. And I love their stuff from then, too. The video series they did, After Hours on Cracked was pretty good.
And I would order an absolute...
Say that again,
I would have my hit list. Yeah.
Your hit list? I think the fact that you think you would have a hit list is probably the reason you're not a general, you goddamn psycho.
Ready, and I would make them go after everybody that was on the list. The 50, the Dirty 51, Schiff, Pelosi, Schumer. Literally nobody would be left when I got done. I would snatch them all.
You're literally describing kidnapping and murdering all of your political enemies. So, I'm gonna turn this air off. It's getting a little chilly. 1 sec. Ugh. By the way, I don't think I said it, but if you came for the raid, give me a follow. We do fun stuff all the time.
It's really basically the cloud formation right in the middle of that picture. And some people, if you can see it, it's like a three-dimensional. So there's a nose and there's shadows underneath the nose to give it definition.
They think the cloud that's above the awful, awful Mount Rushmore monument, which is fucked up. I assume most of you know about that. Anyway, they think the cloud above it looks like Trump's face, which from, like, a pareidolia point of view, I can kind of see it. I'm not gonna lie, but, like, that's how pareidolia works, is you see things and then your brain makes connections that aren't actually there. Somebody in the comments with 100 bits says, Secret Service are like the bodyguards. The INS works more like the FBI or CIA, but just to protect the president, so they have more reach and less oversight. Oh, okay, interesting. Hey, Rin.
And the eyes are in the shadow.
Yeah.
And depending on how I look at it and when I look at it, I see the definition of Donald Trump. And Emily juxtaposed or switched.
It's not even a finished monument. True. Clued, become a Trump-shaped clued.
To that picture of Donald Trump. So we'll see that picture, and then go back to the other. See, it's kind of that angle. That's kind of, he's actually looking off. Well,
and if you can put Donald Trump back up again.
Single-handed gaming. I think you mean me and Jake's channel. You got the names mixed up. I know it's an accident, though, so that's fine. Jake and I aren't planning on doing anything Jake and I just aren't planning on doing anything in the near future. I think we're both very comfortable doing our own thing, so. I get asked that a lot, so I hope that answers it. People don't have to keep asking about it. I am an individual person that makes content and have for years, separate from Jake. Rachology says, I'm on a delay, so I thought of it first.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now go back.
Yeah, he's looking that direction towards the left. He's looking towards the left of the picture.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really big.
The desperation is, not great.
The power of the pardon lies with the president. And when he is elected, if it's in an orange jumpsuit or in a black business suit, the moment the power of the presidency rests in his hands, if he has to take his solemn oath in a prison cell, the next thing he will do is pardon himself. The Constitution allows for it. He will overcome. Believe it. Do not be deceived by the...
Now these people are pro-criminal. they've convinced themselves Trump isn't a criminal because in their head there are good people and bad people. Not good actions and bad actions, but good people and bad people. And in their head, Trump is a good guy, so he can't do anything wrong because he's good. Right? And Democrats are bad people, so they must be doing something wrong. I know that's weird, but that is genuinely how some people think of the world. In very weird, black and white, reductionist, incorrect, like, worldviews. It's fucked up.
Fear or the lies.
Is it me, or does this dude look like Sean Hannity made of Play-Doh?
This nation will now rise up greater than we ever have to vote for the pardon. Vote for the pardon. Vote for the pardon. Hashtag vote for the pardon. He can, according to the Constitution.
What an interesting strategy for an election. I know I'm in prison, but please vote for me so I won't be anymore. How surreal. KBS says, INS was Immigration and Naturalization Services. It no longer exists and never had anything to do with protecting the president. I'm confused then. Speedy Yoshi says, if you want an example of that thinking, read Harry Potter.
Pardon himself.
I'm not sure if there's any more on this particular page. I don't think so. They haven't posted a lot, actually, which is surprising considering how much cope is going on. Oh, this person has an Instagram now. That's nice. Looks like you might be right. The vote's going to be a referendum on Trump going to prison, at least for some. What a ridiculous... How fucking ridiculous. Genuinely wild. Are there any videos over here before I get to the other videos? I don't think so. Oh, if you see this, by the way, this has been going around, like, idiot transphobes have been photoshopping this and spreading it around. This is a 4chan psyop. 4chan created this image and started spreading it around to make LGBT people look like pedophiles. So feel free to point that out to people if you see this. Okay, let's get into some of these videos. Oh, here's... Let's take a look at Trump's video he released after the indictment dropped. He looks so unhealthy. He sounds hoarse, like he's been screaming for hours. It's nuts. Meek says, 4chan did this last time with the kink at Pride discourse. Yeah, they're trying to do the same shit.
Very sad.
I don't think it's working as well this year, but still, I've seen it posted a few times.
We're a nation in decline.
Oh, he looks really bad. And also, like... This is the best they could film? What a terrible camera, what terrible lighting, what terrible audio. Like, what is going on here? So strange.
And yet, they go after a popular president, a president that got more votes than any sitting president in the history of our country.
That has nothing to do with anything. That's a non sequitur. Gregory Term says he's such a wrinkled testicle of a human being. Rot in jail, fucker.
By far. And did much better the second time in the election than the first. And they go after him on a boxer's hoax, just like the Russia hoax and all of the others. It's been going on for 7 years. They can't stop because it's election interference at the highest level. There's never been anything like what's happened. I'm an innocent man. I'm an innocent person.
Sounds legit, Donald. That's great. You know who else did real good that election? That's why I always find it so funny that it'll be like, the most votes of any sitting president. Right. Why didn't you win then? Oh, because the other guy got more votes? And it also reflected in the Electoral College? Crazy. Like, it's a weird double standard where he thinks his number of votes should mean something about his character, but the fact that Joe Biden got more votes doesn't say anything about Biden. It's just, the brains of narcissists drive me crazy.
Had the Mueller hoax, the Mueller report, And that came out, no collusion after...
That's not what the Mueller report said. That's a fucking lie.
2.5 years. That was set up by Hillary Clinton and Democrats. But this is what they do. This is what they do so well. If they would devote their energies to honesty and integrity, it would be a lot better for our country. They could do a lot.
He did lose the popular vote twice, yes. Somebody in the comments says, I stand somewhat corrected. There was a different INS back in the early 2000s that worked just in the White House, but it looks like they were absorbed into the NSA sometime. I know this for a fact as I worked with them some when I was in the service. Internal National Security was their name. Anywho, that's, I guess, old news. Times change. Meek says, DeSantis couldn't wait another 4 years for the husk of a Cheeto to die. Unreal.
A lot better. They could do a lot of great things. But when you look at what's happened to our country in the last 3 years, we were energy independent. We had a strong military that wasn't woke.
Strong military that wasn't woke. Is he aware that the same people, more or less, are working in the military now than when he was in office? Like, the entire military doesn't get swapped out for a different military when the president changes. It's the same military with the same people. Atheist Brony says, I would like to remind Trump that he got fewer votes than Hillary Clinton, arguably the least popular political figure in modern American history. What does that say about your appeal, Donald? And Feninkagami says, and remember, the deaths of the right, quote-unquote, right kind of people will always be accepted to the right, if not celebrated. If you're a, quote, degenerate in any way, they at best will not care if you die, and at worst they'll throw a party. If you're a leftist, gay, trans, homeless, environmentalist, or mentally ill, they want you dead. Do not die, chat. Us living is an act of revenge against these people, an act of rebellion against fascism. Nice.
We were doing so well.
I know. What's that claim about energy independence? The United States wasn't energy independent under Donald Trump. What the fuck?
We were respected all over the world. Got the biggest tax cuts in history, biggest regulation cuts in history. And what?
Those are bad things.
What do? You have a president where an election was taken, got more votes than any sitting president in history by far. Never.
And Biden got more.
Anything even close. And they come after me because now we're leading in the polls again by a lot against Biden and against the Republicans by a lot. But we're leading against Biden by a lot, a tremendous amount.
Are you going to respond to any of the allegations against you other than just saying, I'm innocent, I've done nothing? I am not a crook.
And we went up to a level that they figure the way they're going to stop us is by using what's called warfare. And that's what it is. This is warfare for the law. And we can't let it happen. We can't let it happen. Our country is going...
He's conflating energy independence with being a net exporter of petroleum products. Oh, Lord.
...going to hell. And they come after Donald Trump, weaponizing the Justice Department, weaponizing the FBI. We can't let this continue to go on because it's ripping our country.
It seems like he's lightly trying to imply... I think it'll get more intense as time goes on. But yes, I think he's a little bit trying to work up his followers into committing terrorist acts.
To shreds. We have such big problems.
It's funny watching a video like this knowing it's probably going to be a historic video someday. You know what I mean? Yeah, the head of the FBI, if people don't know, was appointed by Trump. Just so everyone knows, he's like, oh, the Democrat FBI, the head of the FBI was appointed by you. What are you talking about? Chiba Hawk says, Trump in his own mind. Oh, this is a video that he posted, like, earlier today. Yeah.
I never broke the law.
I am the law.
You betray the law.
Here's the sad thing. I think Sylvester Stallone might have made an okay Judge Dredd if he had just, you know, not. If he had just kept the helmet on.
And this shouldn't be one of them.
The movie's not great either, but, like, it's one of the problems.
It's a hoax. The whole thing is a hoax. Just like Russia, just like the fake dossier was a hoax. You saw the Durham report. You saw the Mueller report.
No. The Durham report didn't show anything. Like, two of the people that were charged got found not guilty, and the one that pled guilty, like, basically nothing happened. This idea that the Durham report was some huge deal, it's not. Republicans are grasping for straws. Stromboli says, random question, but does anybody have any good deer tongue recipes? I got gifted some and no earthly idea how to cook it aside from lingua tacos?
It was all a big hoax. You had 2 impeachments, and they lost and we won. And we had tremendous support. But that was...
Talking about your 2 impeachments probably doesn't make you look as innocent as you think it does. Fenekagami says, the head of the FBI is never a Democrat. Even the Dems appoint Republicans to be head of the FBI. Probably because a lot of the people in law enforcement most of the people in law enforcement tend to be right-wing, just by the nature of the job, I would argue. So I'm guessing that's probably why. The FBI is just a big law enforcement division of the federal government, so.
It was a hoax and a scam, and now they're doing it again. It's just a continuation, 7 years, even after I'm out. But it's called election interference. They're trying to...
Donald, you're not even arguing that you didn't have the documents. You've admitted that you had the documents and you weren't supposed to have them. Like, what are you even saying here? It's like he's not even arguing the merits of the case as much as he's just, like, trying to argue, come on, I don't deserve to be in trouble! Like, that feels like the whole vibe of this video is not about the merits of the facts, but, like, come on, folks, don't you love me? Don't you love me? Shouldn't I not be indicted, regardless of what I did? That seems to be his strategy. Gnome Pickle says, when you out-crime Nixon and get out-eloquenced by him at the same time...
More clearly than that.
Stop
you now, right.
I like Frost Nixon. I'm starting to think, you know, between Nixon and Reagan and the first Bush and the second Bush and Trump, I'm starting to think Republicans are big pieces of shit that really want to use the office of the president to enrich themselves and other wealthy people at the expense of everyone else, regardless of what laws they want to break. Nixon with the Watergate, Reagan with Iran-Contra, the Bushes with the fucking Middle East wars that were unjustified, Trump with all this shit. God damn. Like, I'm not, you know, I understand that a lot of politicians are fucking dirty, like, regardless of what side they're on, but, like, Republicans, it's so much fucking worse. Alright, let's do some bits and stuff. Let's see. What's this link? I'm playing too many clips. This is going to be such a pain to put on YouTube. I'm sorry. Somebody in the comments says, I've known, worked with, lived next door to several FBI agencies. They're more or less all progressives, even if Dem Republican. Nonetheless, most people in those branches of government tend to not be very politically driven. They screen them out often to keep the focus on the mission. I would hope so, but you never know.
Destroy a reputation so they can win an election. That's just as bad as doing any of the other things that have been done over the last number of years, and especially during the 2020 election. So I just want to tell you, I'm an innocent man. I did nothing wrong, and we will fight this out just like we've been fighting for 7 years. It would be wonderful if we could devote our full time to making America great again, and that's exactly what we did. But now, again, our country is in decline. We're a failing nation, and this is what they do. I'm an innocent man. We will prove that again. 7 years of proving it, and here we go again. Very unfair, but that's the way it is. I just want to thank everybody. We are doing something very special for our country. We're putting America first. I always put America first, and that's why we were in a position. Unfortunately, that position is no longer valid because they've done such a poor job. but we're in a position where we're going to make America great again. I'm innocent, and we will prove that very, very soundly and hopefully very quickly. Thank you very much.
So that's his response. Let's start looking at some of these right-wing responses. Oh boy. Let's do some videos and then we'll look at like what some of the forums are saying.
Good morning, guys.
Woo, that's rough audio.
For those of you who would like to boost your immune system, go to Alaska Chaga Tea in the description box, and remember, you get 10% off and free freight for being from the channel.
He sounds like he was doing a 5th grade speech.
And then for those of you who would like to give a review about someone who's grooming children, go to communityreviews.org to the comment section. Cal D, the fish oil, and I found another irrational post by Robert Kendi.
What is Rob saying about it? He hasn't posted a video yet. I can look again since the beginning of the stream to see if he has posted anything. Ragin' Rob. Doesn't look like he's posted anything yet, but I will keep an eye on it for sure.
Claiming the NRA is a terrorist group, and she's really still.
Okay. That's not the one.
Well, the battle waged by the deep state.
This is Newsmax. If you're wondering what the people who watch Newsmax are hearing about this bullshit.
To keep Trump out of the White House in 2024 rages on, with an indictment expected maybe this week. No one more familiar with this than those who have stood by the former president's side through it all. Joining me now to discuss Trump 2020 senior advisor and the host of the Right View podcast, Laura Trump herself. All right, Laura, let's talk about America's perception of what the DOJ and the FBI and all these people are trying to do just to keep him out of office.
Well, I think people are finally getting it, Carl, and I think that is some good news here. Look, you can only fool people so many times, and you can only target the same person so many times in the way that we've seen happen.
This is the only the second time he's actually been indicted about things that were done during his presidency. Neither of the trials have happened yet, so he hasn't been acquitted of either.
To my father-in-law, before people start to realize what this is ultimately all about, I think it's pretty clear to anyone who's paid attention that since the day Donald Trump came down the escalator in Trump Tower and announced he was running for president of the United States and didn't need the support of the swamp, didn't need the support of the establishment, he became a target. And we have seen time after time, whether it's the Russia collusion hoax, whether it's the ridiculous, unprecedented indictments against him, whether it is the raid.
His actions were also unprecedented. Weird how that matches up.
Raid at dawn at Mar-a-Lago, whether it's Alvin Bragg in Manhattan or the current situation with the DOJ, he has been the target. And I think it's because
he's the target because he's committing crimes, allegedly. I gotta turn the air on. Sorry, it's getting warm again. He also just lost that defamation lawsuit for like $5 million and then immediately went on the internet and slandered her again. Rather, sorry, libel. It was in writing. And I think she's suing him again. The guy's an idiot.
Because people realize now Donald Trump is truly the only person who can drain the swamp, who is going to expose all of these people. And I think the American people have caught on pretty quickly to that.
Yeah, and it's also the greatest contrast we've ever seen, going from his presidency to Joe Biden's and potentially back.
Yeah, it's been great.
To his. Comey, we played this yesterday with Alina Habba, and
goddamn Newsmax.
Well,
whew, sorry, loud guy.
They got him. Well, they started the process of getting him, as we told you, as we've been saying since the beginning. But what do you make out of this? What's going on? First, turn off all these cable news programs because they're unable to come up with one particular frame of reference, either loving Trump or hating Trump. What about in the middle?
What? What is he talking about? What?
Trump do anything wrong? What does he do now? Is he going to go to jail? Is he going to go to prison? Can he pardon himself if he's not elected? I mean, what? Can we talk about something other than the fact that yes, the Biden crime family never had any of these same problems. Yes, Hillary Clinton and the bleach bit. If I hear bleach bit one more time, I'm going to climb a bell tower, okay?
Profane Priestess says, I take solace in the fact that as a leftist, my enemies are often absolute fucking morons. Agreed.
Now, let me go through this with you. Very, very, very simply. But first, let me tell you that you must subscribe to the channel. You must like this video. You must hit that little bell so you're notified of live streams and new videos. And this is brought to you by our sponsor.
Why does this man have an Emmy on his shelf? Is that a real Emmy? Did he win an Emmy for something at some point? Or did he buy a fake Emmy? Like, seems like a weird thing to have.
Sir, preparewithlionel.com. My friends, you know and I know that there is going to be a disaster one day. A disaster. And food is going to be not available. Stores will be closed. I don't know what it's going to be.
Republicans have been saying this for like years. Basically, since Biden got elected, they've been like, oh my god, there's going to be no food. The shelves are going to be empty. There was a bit of a supply chain issue. But, like, as far as, I don't know what you guys are dealing with. Maybe some of you still have supply chain issues where you are. But the grocery stores I go to are totally normal now. Like, they're fine. They're not missing anything. It's fine. Things are going fine. Hydrate.
I don't know if it's going to be supply chain, more boreal Canadian fires. I have no idea. But you aren't able to go a week without going to the store. You don't have food for a week. Try 90 days. Go to preparewithlionel.com for this special. Knock $200 off of a 90-day, let's just call it starter, because this is what you need per person. You understand this?
Oh my god. Okay, we get the shilling. Come on, get to the content.
What he did was incredible. And then, what was this? 8 years ago, this month, a couple of days ago, when he traversed down that escalator at Trump Tower. Oh, they said, we're going after him.
Have you considered that Trump is just a criminal asshole, and there's evidence of this long before he ever attempted to run for president?
And now they're coming after him for documents. First question I have.
Okay.
And I would love to say.
Okay, great. We read the indictment, so I hope I can answer the question for you hypothetically.
Mr. Smith, General Garland, tell me your worst nightmare regarding Trump. What, is he going to sell these documents to what, Putin?
That's possible, but that's not an accusation that's been made in the indictment whatsoever. Mostly it seemed like the crux of the indictment was that these things were just laying around in accessible areas of his club where anyone could have gotten them, or if someone got wind of them being there, I'm sure another country would have no problem getting someone a membership to this club, a spy, and basically going in and stealing documents if someone knew that they were there. Like, that's the issue. I think in terms of the indictment itself, that is the major concern, is A, he wasn't supposed to have them in the first place, they're classified, and B, they were stored so irresponsibly and kept in places that they weren't supposed to be, that they were accessible to basically anyone who was at the club, which is tens of thousands of people annually.
Xi Jinping, the Saudis, put him on eBay. What? What do you think he's going to do? Tell me the threat. The threat.
You don't understand the threat of keeping classified documents in a place that's accessible to anyone? I feel like that's kind of self-evident. Killjoy says, have you ever listened to right-wing radio by accident or see the rage at days like today? Even the big ones who make national-level broadcasting shill crap like this survival kits and snake oil cures. Makes me happy they can't get advertisers because, at least by enough people, they're fringe nut jobs. I haven't listened to it lately, but I grew up with my dad, and he listened to Rush Limbaugh exclusively every day on the radio, both on the way to work, during work, and after work, and then he would come home and watch Hannity and Bill O'Reilly. It's my abusive alcoholic dad. So I've heard a lot of Rush Limbaugh growing up. Yeah. H-Bird says, how long until we find out that Trump has been using the documents to impress people on a wargaming Discord? That's basically what he was doing. We read the indictment earlier, and there were a couple instances where he basically went to people and were like, look at the stuff I have that you're not supposed to see, but I'm showing you anyway. Isn't it impressive? It's bizarre. Utterly, utterly bizarre. Didn't these people for years rage about Hillary Clinton storing classified info on private servers? Yes, but what you have to understand about people on the right is they aren't interested in consistency, they are interested in power. As far as they are concerned, facts are there to be used as tools, as a cudgel, to destroy their enemies, and not as an actual thing that exists in reality. They'll make shit up. They'll misrepresent things. They don't care about the reality of the situation. They care about how they can contort a situation into being in their favor. You and I, at least hopefully, are like, hey, like, yeah, I want my policies and beliefs and people I agree with to, like, succeed, but at the end of the day, they're subservient to facts. Facts are, like, at the top of the hierarchy of, like, importance, right? Facts come above policy, and those policies, since they're downstream from facts, should be informed, right? For them, it's the opposite. They have policies that they want to enact, and then they try and find facts to suit them. Yeah. It's not good. Yeah, the HATS command is still the old one.
Cosmic
I'll fix it. Sorry.
Existential threat that necessitates the prosecution of Donald Trump. I'm all ears. Tell me. I know it's crazy. Why does he want these documents? I have no idea. I wouldn't have had anything, a matchbook, a napkin from the White House.
Phoenix, what do you want me to wear for the hats off? Stone Corbell says, my parents always listened to Rush in the car, and when I was a kid, I didn't know any better and thought Rush was good because my parents listened to him. Until one day, he was getting mad about this new proposed regulation against car headlights that trigger migraines in people and realized, wow, he's an asshole. True. Flower crown?
Told him. They indicted him twice. Not indicted him. Might as well. Well, they have indicted him twice. What am I saying? They impeached him twice. They were going to get him on the emoluments clause, which nobody even understands to this day.
The emoluments clause basically says you shouldn't be taking gifts or money or making deals with foreign powers that are influenced by your position as president or wherever you are in the government. Glad I could clear that up to you. It's not hard to understand. You just don't want Trump to be guilty of it.
This is the second indictment.
Yes, correct. Correct it is.
I don't know what he wants with these documents.
But you agree he had them. It seems like, and again, they're not disagreeing he had them. That's the crime. You're agreeing that he did the crime. Gitara says, my stepdad listened to Limbaugh in the morning and afternoon when he was picking me up and dropping me off from school. The only difference is that he would listen to that misogynist Kevin Samuels when we got home. Not familiar with Kevin Samuels.
I have no idea.
I don't know what the deal with the Emmy is. No idea.
I would have had search teams, I would say $1,000 to anybody who finds anything in Mar-a-Lago.
Okay. The FBI did that. They went to the FBI, or they went to Mar-a-Lago and did a search warrant and found all the documents. If you read the actual indictment, which again, we just did, you would see that the documents weren't locked up. They were literally, for long periods of time, just sitting in unlocked rooms that were accessible to the public in the club. Maybe read the indictment before you go off about something you have no idea about. You're just mad. You're just mad.
Anything. I don't want these. Especially after I've signed basically an affidavit that says I don't have these. But you know what? I'll give you that one. Jackie, I'll give you that one. Smith,
Okay.
I'll give you that one. Okay? Okay, I'll give you that. But
New York Emmy Award for writing? Oh god, what did he write?
answer my question.
Did they ever release what info was on the documents? Yeah, in the indictment, it was said that they were top secret stuff. Some of them included military plans of contingency for different things, some battle plans for different countries. There was some nuclear stuff mixed in there.
What do you think this guy's doing? What? What is he, Sammy the Bull? What is this, the Rosenbergs? What do you think? Espionage. What do you think, Mr.
It's like he thinks saying things really sarcastically makes it not true. Like, yes, these are all concerns. You're correct. It is a concern that he would show these to people. We know he showed them to people based on testimony and recordings. Did he sell them? Maybe. There's no accusations of that at this point, though, so I don't know why he's talking about that. It's like he's rhetorically trying to talk about something completely different than what's actually in the indictment, because the indictment is fucking damning.
Make America Great Again is going to do with this? Come on, it's a joke. It's a joke. Next. What do you expect him? You want him to go to prison? Do you want him to go to prison?
Yeah. Like, really, really bad, actually.
Are you going to build a cell for his Secret Service agent? You ever think about that one?
Do you think that there aren't Secret Service agents that are able or willing to work in a jail sometimes? I saw this same defense somewhere else. They were like, oh, what, are they going to station Secret Service with him? First of all, the Secret Service, after you're the president, is voluntary. Second of all, he would be in prison, probably the most secure prison in the country, wherever that happens to be, because he's a former president. He would be in protective custody. He would get his own cell. Probably a nicer cell than most people, to be completely honest. And yes, they would probably have Secret Service agents there to keep an eye on him. Maybe not, though. Maybe they would just say, hey, we're delegating this to the prison. We believe that their security is sufficient. If not, yeah, there are a lot of Secret Service members. I'm sure they can find a couple that'll move out to the area for a little bit and work at the prison until Trump dies. How fucking bizarre. What a weird... Like, this is all they have. It's so damning. All they can be is like, yeah, sure, maybe he committed the crimes, but like, what, are you gonna put him in prison and have Secret Service agents there? Yeah. Yep. Is that crazy? Why is that crazy? Why would that be crazy? KBS says Secret Service protection for ex-presidents is not optional. Oh, I thought it was. That makes sense, though. Secrets and stuff. So yeah, they would just have some that are stationed at the prison and cycle in and out on shifts. Fenekagami says it's like they're offended that people like them have to suffer the consequences of their actions. Yes, literally that. It's not like that, it's literally that. They think... I don't remember who said this, but it's a famous quote that says something along the lines of conservatism is dependent on the notion that there are in-groups that the law should protect and not bind, and out-groups that the law should bind and not protect. They believe they're the ones that should be protected by the law, not bound to it. They think minorities and Democrats and people they don't like should be bound to the law. Because to them, it's just a tool to hurt their political and ideological enemies. It's not a objective system. Objective, you know. Supposed to be nonpartisan, right? That dancing Elon gif makes you irrationally angry? That's the point. I do think I'm going to change it soon, though. It's been that since I started streaming, and it's played out. Lily Love Stuff says, I know of this guy because of Knowledge Fight. They did a whole episode on him, and not gonna lie, his theme song goes hard. Oh boy.
Andy in Kansas, you're on the air. Thanks for holding.
Hello, Alex. I'm a first-time caller. I'm a huge fan. I love your work.
I love you.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Knowledge Fight. I'm Dan.
I'm Jordan.
This is
I don't know if I can listen to this. Alex Jones is banned and they use clips of Alex Jones. Either way, it's long. But check out the link if anyone wants to see the whole podcast. Where did that sir go? There he is. Hydrate.
Come on. Come on. This is ridiculous. And I'm not going to bring...
Why is it ridiculous? What do you find ridiculous about it? You've not articulated a single thing that's a reasonable, like, ridiculous thing. Gitara says, Kevin Samuels was a, quote, relationship guru. I put that in quotes because all he did was publicly dunk on and insult black women who went to him for relationship help and lie about his own personal success to make young men, particularly young black men, admire him. He died recently of a heart attack and his fans were so brainwashed and poisoned against women by this guy that they assumed the woman who couldn't be heard in the background of one of his latest videos must have murdered him. Oh, God.
Up the fact that you haven't laid a finger on that disgusting, vile, and rancid Biden crime family. The racketeers of racketeers. These people make the...
It was so consistent. The Biden crime family thing is so fucking funny to me.
And be no crime.
They want Biden to be so edgy, and he's just not. Gnome Pickle says, come on, he's white and famous, so obviously the law doesn't apply to him, because, hey, maybe, are we the bad guys? God damn, I need to rethink my life.
Family look like the Junior League. I mean, Biden is...
Again, we're on the whataboutism. You have not once talked about the validity of the charges other than to basically admit, yeah, Trump had the documents, so that's what the case is about. This has nothing to do with Joe Biden.
Hardcore gangster.
Biden is a hardcore gangster, guys. That's the vibes I get, too.
They don't miss a trick, even while in office. Normally you wait till you get out. Not him. He's basically telegraphing to the world, oh yeah, bereavement, oh, yeah. I'll get rid of that. And he is so... He flaunts this. He doesn't care. That's what he's saying to you. And that disgusting son. Can you imagine?
What is this about? Why are you talking about Hunter Biden?
What's on that Biden? All those videos and pictures.
Oh, the unsubstantiated ones that have never materialized? Fucking crazy.
They haven't shown you.
It's crazy how these people just, like, adopt narratives that are abject lies with no proof because it becomes, like, advantageous for them to do so rhetorically. So they'll just make shit up and make it a story and make it a talking point, even though it is objectively unproven.
You know there's some sick.
Stone Corbell says he's a Trump defendant, and he's saying Biden... he's a Trump defender, and he's saying Biden was bad in office about telegraphing his blatant crimes. These people are warped, like they believe the exact opposite of reality. It's projection.
Nasty stuff.
They see, like, Trump being accused of certain things that Trump actually did. But they don't believe Trump did that. So in their head they go, oh, this is just a thing we do. We accuse people of stuff, so then they make baseless accusations, not understanding that to make accusations there should be evidence. Maybe not even not understanding, not caring.
So what are you going to do? What do you want from Trump? What do you want him to do?
I want him to face justice for his crimes. Hey, Golden Chain Jump, how you doing?
What will make you happy? Merrick Garland, how dare you? Anybody else, any other attorney general with a pair, okay? Anybody with a pair, with a backbone, and with a sense of decency would say, now wait a minute, I've been your lapdog up till now. I went through this stuff. I even threatened parents who dared to object to their kids' teachings at a school.
They weren't threatened, you idiot. Those people were threatening school board members. And it was said, like, hey, if you keep threatening school board members, we're going to investigate this. Because it's illegal to threaten people.
School meeting. I threatened them with the FBI. I unleashed SWAT teams on pro-lifers. Hell, I even went to
I don't know the source for that, but it sounds awesome.
Roger Stone and pulled a 4 a.m. ninja arrest warrant that just happened to have CNN just miraculously there by happenstance. How do you like that? Huh?
This guy's pathetic. Let's find some more. How about this guy?
I'm telling you, conspiracy theorists couldn't make this stuff up. Trump says no way. Conspiracy theorists couldn't make this stuff up.
They probably could. Conspiracy theorists make up tons of fake things.
Follow along with me. Back in March, I don't know if you recall or even done any research because you don't hear this stuff on the media. Trump filed a lawsuit in Florida against Hillary Clinton. The DNC listed James Comey, who
Yeah, he lost. I believe that lawsuit got thrown out.
is a former director of the FBI, Adam Schiff, Wasserman, and I don't know, at least a dozen other people. If you don't believe me, just Google Trump versus Clinton District Court.
I'm familiar with the lawsuit.
Florida, and you'll find it. The whole court docket is there, okay?
This dude's drunk. Most right-wing people are.
And the reason
if it's past 5 p.m. and you're right-wing, you're probably drunk.
he's doing that is for racketeering and a corrupt organization, the DC being a corrupt organization. That was the lawsuit. So, April 6th, a judge recused himself. And at the same time they recused himself, he was replaced by Judge Reinhardt.
Okay.
Okay? Just remember.
If I remember correctly, he recused himself because he was a Trump appointee, which would be a conflict of interest.
For that name. Judge Reinhardt was overseeing that case up until June 22nd when he recused himself.
The actor, that's Judge Reinhold. This is Judge Reinhardt. Mock trial with Judge Reinhold. Mock trial with Judge Reinhold.
Now, one of the reasons you recuse yourself, or you disqualify yourself from a hearing, is that you are impartial, you're personally biased, prejudiced, or you have personal knowledge of
Why does he look like he's about to cry? High blood pressure.
Disputed.
I think a lot of these people have high blood pressure for a variety of reasons. Drinking a lot, lots of red meat, like more than is like healthy. Lots of red meat as a way to compensate because they think that a lot of people like this. And bear in mind that my view on this is very much shaped by my dad, who is like one of these people. He's very similar. Whenever we see a guy like this, I just see my dad, because this is exactly what he's like. So let me tell you what he was like. He's an alcoholic that drank every single day, smoked a ton of weed, which, like, weed is fine, but he's, like, mixing it with alcohol every day. And if you've ever mixed the two, you know how more fucked up you get if you do both. He would just sit and listen to Rage all the time. Like I said, he listened to Hannity and Bill O'Reilly, and he watched sports, and he did nothing else. He doesn't like movies, he doesn't like TV shows unless it's like Leave It to Beaver or Gunsmoke. That man doesn't like a single show that came out after like the 1980s, and he doesn't watch them for recreation, okay? Anyway, he had incredibly high blood pressure because, how do I put this? He's always angry and stressed out, and you can tell he's incredibly emotionally constipated, and he's just upset about everything, and he's being fed rage constantly, which led to him having high blood pressure. It also didn't help that he was drinking so much and eating so much that he was also quite overweight, you know? Still is, most likely. Eric RPG with 20 months, thank you. So he had like a really high blood pressure, and his face could get really, really red, especially if he was drinking, you know? Or if he was mad or whatever. His face would get incredibly red because of the high blood pressure. So, yeah, these people are just angry rage machines who are hiding from their own inadequacies and their own feelings of self-doubt by blaming everyone else for all the problems in the world. It's really, really sad. You got me and my dad and Jake's dad mixed up and thought my dad was dead. I wish. That's gonna be a fun stream the day he dies. Is my dad Archie Bunker? Funny you say that. My dad likes Archie Bunker and doesn't understand. Okay, so for those who aren't familiar... No, wrong show, sorry. Archie Bunker. What was the show called? I'm forgetting. All in the Family. Thank you. Okay. So All in the Family was a sitcom from the 1970s, and the basic premise of the show was that Archie Bunker is like a backward kind of conservative, even for the 1970s. And his family is not. Especially his, like, son is more progressive. He's kind of a hippie type. So a lot of the episodes would be he's confronted with something he's not comfortable with, and then he'll be mad about it, and then through the course of the episode, he'll maybe come around on it a little bit. Think King of the Hill with Hank, kind of, but he's a bigger asshole. Anyway, my dad has that Republican or conservative thing where media literacy is dog shit. He just has no idea what things mean. He doesn't know how to read media because he never watches it. He just watches, like, rage bait stuff on Fox News and the radio and sports. So, like, he likes All in the Family because he agrees with Archie Bunker. He likes Archie Bunker. And, I frustrating.
Facts, okay? Personal knowledge of disputed facts. So, Reinhardt is off because of those reasons. Sometime between then, actually not sometime between...
Like, do they understand that the actor who played Archie Bunker, like, he understood the character and knew that the point was that the character was the bad guy? For the youths, it's like he likes Cartman from South Park unironically. Basically, yes. That's a good way to put it. Or like the kind of people who really like Tyler Durden, or like, God, what's another dude bro, film bro movie that's misinterpreted? American Psycho, I guess. That's done less, but Gaston.
And then on
The Joker. I'm the Joker, baby.
August 4th. What is today?
I heard about Fire Festival 2.
Today's the 9th?
Starship Troopers. What a great satire. JP Black with 20 months says, what a wonderful way to celebrate spending these 20 months with Hannah Reloaded. Indeedly do.
So...
Rick from Rick and Morty, too.
Just 5 days ago. August 4th, a dismissal was requested by the defendants. They wanted to dismiss the case. Trump says, no way. He...
One second, I gotta respond to something. I'm good.
Filed a motion. No.
Eric RPG says, fun fact, the actor who played Meathead directed Princess Bride. Really? Oh.
No, I'm denying the dismissal. The very next day after denying the dismissal, a search warrant was issued for Trump's home.
It takes a while to get a search warrant of that level. They didn't literally submit... They didn't submit... The implication here is that he thinks that, oh, it's retaliatory. It takes more than a day to get a search warrant for the former president of the United States' house. Do you think that they went into a judge one day and said, here, right now, sign this form. We're going to go into Donald Trump's house. Meathead equals Rob Reiner? Okay. That makes sense. Terradona says, Boris Johnson resigned from the UK Parliament. I know he resigned as the Prime Minister. I hadn't heard about that. Hype Train, 71% to level 1.
Who do you think signed that search warrant? None other than Judge Reinhardt.
Okay. And?
The one he sat over his...
If that's true, that's fine. A judge can handle multiple cases with the same defendant. That happens all the time.
Case from April 6th all the way to June 22nd making decisions. And they disqualified himself, possibly...
After the Liz Truss thing, is there even anyone who's a clear successor for Prime Minister in the UK right now? Does anyone even want the job?
Because of personal knowledge of disputed facts. Reinhardt issued it. You tell me that we are not living in whacked out times. It's interesting, that's for darn sure. I can't wait for part 2 to come about. But they're afraid.
They're really not. They're really, really not. It's another projection, I'm guessing. They're afraid. Really? I don't think so. KBS says the Tories have chosen you as the next PM. Oh, fuck. Alright.
Breaking news, federal charges levied against a former president of the United States.
Speaking of characters that are misinterpreted by dude bros and right-wingers...
Breaking news.
Look! It looks like this guy is a fan of Walter White. Like, as... He seems to be intentionally emulating the murderous criminal Walter White. Lovely. 78% to level 1 on the hype train.
News, federal charges...
I really think that more people need to be told that someone can be a protagonist of a show or a movie and a bad guy. Someone being the protagonist doesn't mean they're a good guy. Jesus Christ.
Charges levied against a former president of the United States. What? Gee, sounds vaguely familiar. January 6th insurrection.
Bullshit.
The raid on Mar-a-Lago.
Bullshit.
Seems to not be bullshit since he got indicted.
State charges filed by Alvin Bragg.
Bullshit.
What happened to those previous 3? Exactly. You know what's going to happen to the 4th, right? I'm Jasper Gonzo, and this
Bullshit. Bullshit.
is what's next. Happy Friday, guys! TGIF, Jasper Gonzo, what's next? Your daily dose. Hope you guys are doing good on this day as we go into the weekend. Well, see if this is familiar to you.
Nemesaur, thanks for gifting 10 Tier 1 subs to the community.
January 6th insurrection. Dastardly. Ooh, we've got him. Nope.
The January 6th thing is still under investigation, to my understanding, by the Department of Justice, and there might be indictments for that coming in the future. It's weird that he's acting as though that's over. It's not. The investigation for that is still ongoing. Stone Corbell says, the sound clips he uses remind me of morning talk radio, the absolute lowest form of culture. Yeah, this is very annoying. We'll watch for another minute or so, and then I'll move on.
Raid on Mar-a-Lago, FBI files, unclassified documentation. How dare he have those documents?
Yes, it's illegal for him to have those documents. Thus the indictment.
We've got him now.
I mean, maybe, yeah. Bummel Homestead with 100 bits, thank you. 39% to level 4.
Nope.
Yeah, the New York State charges are pending trial. Oh, did he imply? I missed that. Did he imply that they went somewhere? No, those are still ongoing. Does he think it works like TV and you get indicted and have a trial the same day? What? Lampita says, this guy does not have the energy for a soundboard either. Makes it seem like he just has a lot of annoying unrelated ringtones going off. Yeah. If you're gonna do the annoying, sound effects thing, you gotta have the morning zoo attitude. Welcome to Hannah and the Badger, your hits of the 80s, 90s, and now. And then there's like a car horn sound effect.
State charges. Alvin Bragg. 34 counts. This time we've got him. Nope. So now, federal charges have been levied against the former president.
Cthulhu Flower says, Judge Reinhardt probably recused himself from Trump's lawsuit because he realized his personal knowledge of Trump's crimes meant he might appear biased against Trump, so he recused himself. You know, the opposite of every conservative Supreme Court justice ever.
United States, because...
The Badger is a literal badger now. I literally I'm doing a radio show with a literal animal badger. They're not very talkative, but they do make the show interesting.
Exactly. Just because. They hate the man so much.
Did you read the indictment? Did you see the evidence they have? They literally have him on tape, admitting to crimes in the clearest way possible. They might as well have him on camera saying, ah yes, I love all these crimes that I've committed. I've committed so many federal crimes. Let me describe them now. That's effectively what he did. We read it earlier.
The vitriol is so... Ooh! My gosh, the haterade is being poured out like the Kool-Aid. And they don't give two fucks.
What is this attitude? This man has anti-charisma. It's like sometimes he'll try and say something, and he's trying to have personality, but it's like he can't think of what to say soon enough. So he's got this weird pacing where it'll be sort of confident statements interrupted by long pauses. Very weird. Killjoy says, Hannah, my right-wing aunt hates all movies and media that have main characters who are meant to be bad people, but loves real crime TV shows and podcasts. She has a master's in medical administration, so she isn't unintelligent, but she's got a very black and white moral compass. Not liking moral nuance heroes are good guys, villains are bad guys. I've seen this in many conservatives. Yeah. Black and white thinking is associated with conservatism and right-wing attitudes in general. Minute left on the hype train, 45% to level 4.
But it's not just the Democrats.
He seems to have stopped the sound effects, so that's good.
So you have rhinos, little asswipes pretending to be Republicans who are loving every minute of this. And here we go. This comes out of Breitbart. Never Trump rhino.
Oh yeah, Breitbart. That's a great source. Don't read Breitbart. It's for alt-right Nazi shitheads.
No, celebrate underplay of DOJ indictment. Yes. The usual suspects. And one of them happens to be an ass clown who cried in front of Congress.
30 seconds left on the hype train.
Never Trumpers and rhinos either celebrated or dramatically underplayed former president's indictment by...
What a weird thing to say, someone who cried in front of Congress, okay? That's not a crime. Are you making fun of someone's emotions? Like, they might be an asshole, I don't even know who he's talking about, but, like, that's not a crime. Pseudo-Sapien with 100 bits says, Happy reign of indictments, everyone. Thanks for the level 4 hype, everyone.
Joe Biden's Department of Justice in relation to classified documentation, Mar-a-Lago. They couldn't get him on a state level. Now they're going to try him on.
He's literally still under. There are still state charges that are happening in New York, and there are grand juries in, I believe, Georgia and D.C. regarding other crimes. Why does he think the state crimes have gone away?
President from former RNC chair Michael Steele to Lincoln Project George Conway. Lincoln Project, yeah, you know that's run by pedos. The various public figures did not hide their joy upon hearing about the indictment, while others such as Jonah Goldberg and David French, and clowns, underplay the indictment as standard procedure, completely undeterred by the fact that DOJ has indicted a former president. Again, Michael Steele. Donald Trump indicted on 7 counts. Remember, he's in a position because of his own actions. There was no witch hunt. A federal judge ruled that there was probable cause that Trump committed a crime.
Correct. Again, do you see the pattern of them, like, saying things in a very sarcastic tone? In order to do that, and I've done the sarcastic tone thing too, but to make that bit work, the thing you're saying has to actually be untrue? You're just being sarcastic about things that are true, and that doesn't track comedically. Mew says, I think it might be toxic masculinity towards expression of emotions. I agree. H-Beard says, so are we just calling it Mar-a-Largo now? I guess so. Okay, enough of this guy. We have plenty other people to look at. Holy fuck, I'm so sorry. BitChute, the levels are so varying. Unlike YouTube kinda normalizes it. There's it's real bad on BitChute, and I apologize. Pseudosapien, thanks for 32 months, says, ow, my brain and ears. I apologize, I'll make sure with the rest of the clips, I make sure to put the volume down all the way before I start them, and then we'll bring it to where it needs to go.
Hello, this is Colin.
Oh, this is the creepy one! I remember!
Adele, and this is the Short Pod, a brief and succinct podcast commenting on the events and issues of the day. And to date is the 9th of June 2023. The big news at the moment is that Donald Trump has been indicted again.
What level of crazy is this when for your show you superimpose your face onto Donald Trump for a podcast. That's horrifying.
Maybe it's not really such big news because...
You like my polka dot top? Thank you! They're actually little hearts. It's not just polka dots, they're heart polka dots.
These Donald Trump indictments are coming thick and fast, and there are probably...
Thick and fast, you say? My favorite.
Probably...
God damn it. Hats off. Ienzo, what do you want me to wear for the hats off?
A few more in the pipeline. So, has the Orange Godzilla done anything deserving of the attentions of the legal system, or
Witch's
not?
hat? Okay.
From what we know, nothing is really clear. This can be easily viewed as a politically motivated attempt to bring Donald Trump down.
If you're dishonest, then you could think that, but it's not accurate to what's actually going on. There we go. Where's the part? There it is. Hydrate. Will do.
And I'm not really seeing any evidence yet of any nefarious intent by Donald Trump.
Intent is not part of these crimes, to my understanding. But even if it is, he's literally on video saying he knows that they're classified and he knows he's not supposed to have them or show them to anyone, but he did all of those things anyway. That's pretty clear intent. So you're just lying to yourself.
I haven't seen any evidence that the documents that he is being charged with illegally holding have been sold or shown to the wrong sort of people. That might have happened, it might not have happened, we don't really know yet. So what it looks like at the moment, based upon what they are prepared to tell us, is that Donald Trump is being heavily prosecuted for holding on to some documents, which sounds a little...
Stealing classified documents from the White House. Not holding on to some documents. Stealing classified documents from the White House.
A little bit heavy-handed. It sounds like they're trying to break a butterfly on a wheel, so to speak.
What is wrong with these people's brains?
And they're looking for...
He just took some classified nuclear documents. What's the big deal?
An excuse to take him out of the picture. Now, the question here is, who are they?
Juggle. Juggle command.
Now,
okay.
To my mind, this case has eerie similarities to the case of Jeremy Corbyn in the UK. Jeremy Corbyn, for those who don't know, he was overwhelmingly elected Labour Party leader, maybe in 2017 or before, 2015 maybe, 2016, I'm not really sure. You can look it up. Anyway, he was overwhelmingly elected Labour leader. He was quite popular with the membership, that's why he became leader. And he actually performed not so badly in British...
Let he who has not stolen classified nuclear documents cast the first stone. Okay, I gotta go find a big-ass rock.
Elections. Despite...
Yeah, I haven't heard the break a butterfly idiom. I don't know where that's from.
Advocating some rather radical and lefty policies. But in 2020... there was a concerted campaign to basically accuse him of anti-Semitism, and I don't think there was any real evidence of him being anti-Semitic. I think he was just a typical lefty who believed in the oppression of Palestinians and who thought that Israel was some kind of South Africa-style apartheid state.
He's saying thought like that isn't just objectively true. Is that all he got in trouble for, was recognizing that Palestine and its citizens are being mistreated by Israel? That's fucking hilarious. I mean, it's not hilarious, it's kind of sad.
So the usual lefty nonsense, very unnuanced, very unsubtle about the cruel oppressors. It's not anti-Semitism, it's just typical leftism. But that was kind of weaponized against him, and they cooked up this kind of narrative, fully supported by the press, that he was something of a anti-Semite or a closet anti-Semite, and he had to go, and he was replaced by Sir Keir Starmer, who, you know, pretended to be his best friend at times, and who pretended that he was going to be continuing Jeremy Corbyn's...
More and more denial. Oh, look, another one.
It is the enemy's last-ditch effort, and if you are following the news, there's a lot going on, but you could tell, if you have discernment, you could tell that what they're trying to do is either projection, right, projecting their crimes onto other good people.
Projecting about projection. It's getting meta.
They're making things up, or they're so desperate that they're trying whatever they can to
What level of postmodernism is this?
Indict and bring people on charges and all these things. So the latest news is that Trump is being indicted, or has been told he's being indicted. And so we're seeing some things play out now, but it's a double-edged sword, right? So you got all these things with Clinton and everybody else, Biden, but yet they're trying to go for the smallest thing that is non-existent for Trump. So that's
the goddamn delusion. If you want to, if anybody in the FBI finds actual evidence that Joe Biden, Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, Obama, Michelle Obama, I don't care. Arrest whoever has committed crimes that there is evidence of. This constant whataboutism is so exhausting.
Says a lot about what they're trying to, or the threat that he is to the establishment. So don't worry about that. It's all, whether it's a show in some sense to wake more people up, or it's just their tactic to try to get him and to take him down. Trump is safe, he's insulated, and there's no trouble there. Now, the other thing that's happening is that Julian Assange, right, from WikiLeaks, he may be coming home very soon, and when that happens...
The rapist guy?
It sounds bad in that he was trying to fight extradition to the U.S. from the U.K. Some ruling just came down that his appeal got denied, but it looks like he doesn't want to come. But when he does, he has a lot of information, and that's when the floodgates will open.
What? You think that he's holding on to some sort of secret information? At this point, he's been in exile for years. Why wouldn't he have used it? What are you talking about?
In terms of what can be presented to the court. So a lot of things that are happening, right, is being injected legally into the court system.
No, not gonna say that. Lily Love Stuff says, wait, he's wearing Fred Perry. A lot of neo-Nazis wear Fred Perry to the point where the company had to stop making their polos in a certain color because it was so popular with racist skinheads. Why? How did that start? I'm curious.
Through a means for which it sounds...
If any of QAnon is real, how did any of the indictments of Trump make it this far? It's inconsistent. It's very inconsistent. I should catch the streamer Left Flank Vets weekday mornings. He streams the call-in period, and the calls are wild. We play C-Spam Bingo. I'm familiar with Left Flank Vets. I've been raided a few times by Left Flank Vets, and I've done the same in return.
It's like they don't want to be there. It sounds like, it's a bad thing, but it's being done for a reason so that they could follow the rule of law. So I see a lot of good coming out of that, even though the media and everybody else is going to portray it as something that's completely different from that. You got Tucker coming back on Twitter, or rather having some kind of a segment, and there's this legal battle now, I guess, with Fox and just copyright, or rather the contract issues and breaching it. And so a lot is happening in terms of trying to amp up the true news that's coming out. Elon Musk, he's saying a lot of different...
Oh God, Elon. Can we get... it's been a good week. Can I just say, if there... I'm not religious. I don't think the universe has some ultimate controller or consciousness behind it. I just think it's physics, you know? But just for the sake of it, hey, if there is anyone in the universe who controls things, you know what would be super cool? First of all, thanks for watching my stream. I know you have a lot of options. Second of all, can Elon Musk get indicted now for something? Like, I'm sure he's done many, many illegal things, in particular financial, but just let's really round out this week. Let's get an Elon indictment going.
Things, a lot of people are angry about that. Twitter is...
You thought the Q crowd said last year that Trump already won this war? Many of them do believe that, and we're going to look at some of the posts from QAnon forum to get their impressions of the indictment. It's pretty funny.
Opening
and sad
up more and more to make sure that the truth is being allowed. And even recently, I just read, this happened I think a few days ago or a week ago, YouTube is now allowing the 2020 election steal videos to be up. If you guys have been following me for a while, you know that a lot of my videos were taken down. I've been getting strikes left and right because I talk about the 2020 steal.
Because you're lying? Because you're spreading misinformation on YouTube? Dumbass.
Because if you've prayed about it, if you know, and if you follow...
If you've prayed about it. That's where I get my information, is praying, aka making shit up in my own head.
Information and evidence and things like that, you know that it was stolen. So again, I'm declaring it very confidently now. Let's see what happens. They have said they're going to stop censoring, and if they're true to that word, then this video will stay up. Many other videos will stay up. So that's in some sense good news. But we're,
I actually did see the YouTube thing. Like, what the fuck is wrong with them? Is it the new, like, crypto bro CEO of YouTube that made that decision, or what? Incredibly stupid. I'm good at juggling balls.
I don't know what's
Thank you, I try to be.
going on there in terms of maybe YouTube is trying to dodge a bullet. Maybe they're being controlled, and now they're opening and letting things on. But the truth is coming back, and it's going to make itself known. And you, as the viewer, you as the listener, you will have
what decision? The decision to allow election fraud conspiracy theories to be on the site.
Choice as to whether you want to believe it or not. And the same has happened the last couple of years. People that have been quote-unquote conspiracy theorists. And remember, people have had time to listen.
Yeah, the last CEO stepped down and they got a new CEO, and I think I heard he's a crypto bro, so.
Listen to...
He's probably a libertarian or some cringe shit like that. Lily Love Stuff says, Fred Perry is a brand that was popular with the first wave of skinheads, the cool ones who weren't racists, and when the second wave, bad ones, popped off, they continued to wear their clothes. The Proud Boys adopted the brand specifically, the black with yellow polos, so the company discontinued them. Oh. Wow. That's gotta fucking suck. If you have, like, a brand and it starts getting used by fucking fascists. Nasty.
All these stories and seeing what has transpired, what's true. Let me give you some conspiracies that people have said, oh, that's outrageous, but it turned out to be true.
What do you want to bet that none of these things he's about to say are true or actually true?
There was a recent interview, I think, with Elon Musk, and I think the other person had said some of these things, but...
Is this going to be based on him believing that Elon Musk is a truthful person? Holy shit.
But, again, if you followed it, you know. Trump, Russia, witch hunt, the Jeffrey Epstein stuff, the island, JFK assassination, the misuse of the Patriot Act, the Iraq War, weapons of mass destruction, war in Ukraine, the bombing of the Nord Stream pipeline, the open border migration caravans, the climate change scam, HARP, 9/11 being an inside job, Internet of Things, surveillance grid, the...
None of these things are real! You're just listing crazy bullshit conspiracy theories. If nothing else, I might save this video just so I have that list for Tinfoil Tuesdays, so I can just like, oh, that's a conspiracy I'll look up. This is all bullshit!
PFAs and the water stuff, the 2020 election, of course, being stolen.
That's not true!
January 6th being filled with undercover feds, the gain of function research, the COVID origins being out of Wuhan, big tech censorship. There's many other things that have turned out to be true, but if you listen to mainstream media, if you listen to these guys who are telling you the exact opposite and just yelling at you to say, oh, believe me, I have the news, I'm the authoritarian, person on this, then of course you are lied to. And so these things are coming out. Watch, this is their last ditch effort. Big week, big month coming up. A lot has progressed and it's been great so far, but again, the war is not over. It's a show. People need to wake up slowly, but all of it will come to justice. God has it, and we are in a good place. Just wanted to give you guys this quick encouraging word. If you want to support me, my store, chrisyounstore.com, or you can go on Etsy. Please buy a journal or a shirt or one of my other things that are up there. I need help, I need support, and there's a lot coming, guys. We're in a good place for the future. Love you guys. Talk to you guys very soon.
Jesus Christ, these people are nutty. I looked, Chris hasn't put anything up yet about this. I wish he had, unless he's put something up since earlier. No, damn. I'm excited to hear Chris's take on this. It's gonna be exciting. Ooh, anything from Raging Rob? Let's check. No, still nothing. Bummer.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
God damn it. I'm sorry.
Good morning.
I haven't seen Marcel speak about it. I can look it up, though.
Listen. How do you like the shirt? Bud Light sucks. It has a crushed can on there. You can get that at patriotwear.com.
This is certainly a personality. Guys, look. I also don't like Bud Light because they did one ad with a trans woman.
Figure why not go all in, right? Why not go for it all?
This cannot be a real personality. Hello, fellow dude bro men types. I also hate gay things like you do. We're all manly. I'm gonna go hunting. Oh.
So we said this, Trump's indicted. How long have we been saying this on my program? About a little over 2.5 years.
Yeah, there have been talks about his crimes for a while. I'm kind of surprised it took this long to get an indictment.
With Juanito, I mean, he's been in the beer, folks. You may say, well, you know, Nino rides Juanito's nuts too much. No. This is what the thing is. Game recognizes game. I know when I see a real motherfucker. I know when I'm listening to someone that knows what they're talking about. And I've been doing this long enough.
People who think that this is an actual thing that was studied. People who think that they're really good at telling when people lie are actually the worst at it. Because they get overconfident.
Where I can decipher the bullshit.
I poked my eye! Fuck! I poked my own eye! Fucking hell! Alright, I'm good.
Chalk it up to boxing, folks. Chalk it up to being in the fight game. The fight game for my whole life. Since I was 5 years old, I've been boxing. I've been in it with the biggest slime balls, slime buckets there are. I've been involved in the cesspool of shit my whole life being a fighter. I was the hoe, they were the pimps. I learned a little something, folks. And that's why, folks, if you're not at Nino'sCorner.tv, I don't know what you're waiting for. This is where we're ahead of the ball by years. By years ahead of, if you want to get ahead.
You're really not. People have been talking about Trump getting indicted for a long time.
Ahead of the ball. School all your friends at the dinner table. Go to Nino'sCorner.tv.
Wait, his name is Nino? Hello, I'm Nino!
He makes everybody believe he does crap. Table and said, hello, my name's Nino!
My name's Nino!
Folks, as you know,
did you guys see that Kitchen Nightmares is coming back for a new season? I love that show.
I'm going to tell you this little story about the kitten I found on the street. I saved a cat, actually a kitten. He's no bigger than my hand, and I don't know if you can see the bite marks right there. That's where that little fucker bit me. See the bite marks? A little stray feral cat bit me. I'll tell the story in a second. Venmo, D-Rod 1977, D-Rod 1977. When the lights go out, you can get this on Amazon. Leave an honest review. We appreciate all reviews. I wrote this book in a month on my...
Wow, you wrote a book in a month. I'm gonna guess it's terrible.
iPhone.
Yeah, cat bites can be serious. You're actually, I think, supposed to... Like, if a cat breaks your skin, it can be very serious.
My mama, the Mexican Mix. Oh, man, you guys are leaving some awesome reviews for her. She really loves it. Keep the prayers coming, folks. I promise you that's the strongest medicine there is prayers. So thank you for praying for my mama. I got to tell you, folks, taking care of two elderly people is pretty tough. You know, yesterday she called me on the phone telling me she lost her hearing aids and trying to explain to me that she couldn't hear me over the phone. And I'm like, well, yeah, Mom. You don't have your hearing aids. You lost them. You can't hear anything I'm saying.
Oh my god, this is obnoxious. I'm gonna skip ahead to see when he starts talking about the Trump thing.
Instagram, David Nino Rodriguez on all the TV screens. Parade. There's balloons. There's rainbow.com. Pretty interesting. You want to go there and watch that on ninoscorner.tv. That's going to be up tonight. Wano Saban's coming back on. Going to be talking about the military exercises that are taking place right now. Congress of all the satellite phones. Something's happening, folks. Things are brewing. Things are getting ready to happen. That's going to be on. I'm going to be interviewing him today or tomorrow. I'm in constant conversation with Juanito. We talk almost every day, actually. John D'Souza is going to be coming on talking about the alien card. We know that's getting ready to get played. Have we not talked about that for the last 2 years? The alien card, now everyone's starting to see aliens. A couple in Las Vegas has got to see some aliens. I see aliens every day. A different kind of aliens. They're illegal. But
oh, cool. Racism.
on all the TV screens. That's enough right there. But now I got to walk around with fancy little rainbows on every fucking treadmill.
Is the rainbow hurting you, sir? Is the rainbow in the room with us right now? Like, this is so weird. Like, when I drive around in my everyday life, sometimes I'll see Trump flags or Gadsden flags, you know, things that represent things that I'm not a fan of. But you know what I don't do? This shit. What the fuck? Like, I don't go like, oh my god, there was a Gadsden flag at Target. I'm gonna threaten employees to get rid of it. So fucking gross.
So I told him I was going to leave the gym, and I started driving to another gym that I never go to that's kind of out of the way.
I would imagine they're quite relieved for you to not be there. Also, is he under the impression that a gym is not a place where gay guys go? Or gay women, for that matter? Does he think gay guys don't go to the gym?
Wait, I'm going to go check it out.
What's Gadsden? It's the Don't Tread on Me flag. You've probably seen. It's yellow. It's...
As I'm driving, it's Russian.
Libertarians usually use it. The symbolism dates back to the American Revolutionary War, I believe. But it's used in modern times mostly by libertarians.
Shower. Cars are zooming back, going about 65, 70, 75 miles an hour. And I'm passing this intersection, and as I'm passing it, and I'm talking cars are racing, folks. I see this
guy isn't very good at telling stories, is he?
It's a little furry ball in the middle of the street, curled up in a little ball, like no bigger than my hand.
Talk about Trump.
We're blocking all of it. So it's they're losing so badly now that the fact that people are, and what they're in a race for, folks, is here's how this is working. They're in a race against the Great Awakening. So they're trying to beat us to the punch. They're trying to instill the Great Reset before the Great Awakening happens, which is too late already. Because now everything that they're doing is waking more people up. So every move they make is working against them. No matter how fucking...
Cassifel, thanks for 16 months, says 16 months. Hoy, 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 hoy. How's it going, Cassifel?
Clever they think they are, it's working against them because we are awake. There's still a lot of people that are asleep, and I'm going to call them... I guess I'm going to say...
Juggle.
I guess the collateral damage. I mean, they're the ones that aren't going to make the shift.
What?
And, you can't save everybody, folks.
These people are so comfortable with just huge swaths of people being murdered. Goddamn QAnon people.
I'm pretty proud. I have some normie friends that have woken up.
Normie friends.
I think it's more about ego. They don't want to say that I'm right.
Well, maybe you're wrong.
For so many years. They have such an ego. And
irony.
They should know who the true alpha is. Yeah, baby, it's me.
This is a very secure man that isn't putting up a front or masking at all. He has no insecurity whatsoever. I assure you, this man lasts forever in bed too, okay? He's got a big dick, and he lasts for hours. He definitely doesn't stick it in, half flaccid, and come in 3 seconds, okay? Would this man be insecure?
You. Anyway, that was a little egotistical thing I had to do on display right there because I'm feeling it today. All right. So as we watch the House hearings, as they are really, really catching speed, aren't they? whistleblowers left and right coming out. I mean, it's just getting ridiculous. They're going after deep state and Biden as Biden is getting ready to get impeached, folks. What do?
Good luck with that.
Holy shit! Throw more charges on Trump. He's the bad guy now.
They're unrelated, sir. The two things are completely unrelated.
Not us. They're gaslighting. So,
what do you think gaslighting means? Because that is not the definition of gaslighting.
as this happens, Trump is indicted, as we know. What is this, the second one? I can't keep track. Anyway, the White Hats are pushing their hand into big panic moves. Guess what happened to be activated, folks? RFK, Robert Kennedy. I don't know if this is part of the White Hat plan. I don't think so. I don't feel like it is. I think this guy just showed up. I think this is a wild card, hand of God moment. Thank you, MS Lauren. A wild card moment, a hand of God moment where Kennedy just enters the scene, and now they're like, shit, what are we going to do? Well, Biden, you can't debate him. You know that, right? You're not going to debate him. So no debates, because he'll expose us for what we are.
The RNC's the one that pulled out of debates. After the last presidential election, the RNC made it basically official policy that they're not going to do debates. What are you talking about?
Further to the Democrats. If this isn't waking up the Democrats, I don't know what will. If this right here is not waking up, that's what he's doing. Robert Kennedy is waking up the left, okay? I love it!
Is he?
So,
no? What the fuck are you even talking about? He's the anti-vax guy, right? He's like the crazy anti-vax guy from the Kennedy family.
as Robert Kennedy, I'm going to say he's active.
Being part of the Kennedy family, of course he doesn't like shots.
Let's have fun with this. Let's just say he's been activated as if it's part of the plan. Because I don't know if it is. I don't think it is. I don't think it is. But let's just say it. Let's just say he's activated. Just because it sounds good. All right. And
his own family's completely disowned him. That's always nice.
He's now destroying the left narrative. Tucker Carlson pulling over 90 million on Twitter. Are you serious?
Okay. Cool. He's now facing a lawsuit from Fox News for his non-compete contract. And if anything, it's further damaged Twitter's reputation as it continues to circle the drain. Missed your link. Sorry about that. Let's take a look. A cleanse.
The cheese.
Oh, we've seen this, but I like it, so we'll watch it.
The cheese tax, the cheese tax. You gotta pay the cheese tax every time you're cooking. When the cheese comes out, this puppy comes looking. The rules are the rules and the facts are the facts. And when the cheese drawer opens, you gotta pay the tax.
Wow. People are now awake. Okay. 90 million.
The giggle at the end was just too perfect after that voice. Oh god. I'm gonna go hunting. P-Meal says, I forgot about Tucker and Elon. What's going on? Right-wingers are taking L's left and right. I don't know. Just coincidence, it's just coincidence that a bunch of bad things are happening to them at once. I'll take it. I'll fucking take it. I'm not mad about it, but I don't understand it. Lily Love Stuff says, when my dogs hear cheese tax, they come running looking for cheese. Thanks, Hannah. Dogs, enjoy your cheese. The dogs deserve some cheese.
Over 90 million. It could have been 100 million. So let's recap.
Waiting for... You sent your Blue Sky request? I gotta do that.
On what's going on, and what they're doing here. The boogeyman of 2020, which was the second, or let's say the third wave of people waking up, because I say JFK being assassinated was number one. 9/11 was the second wave. The third wave of people waking up that are slow to the ball was the boogeyman of 2020. Everything that happened in 2020. Then that contributed to the bank robbery. Then
What bank robbery? What are you talking about?
All the globalist executive orders and weaponization of government with three-letter agencies. Agencies. Oh, I might type it. Took me that agencies. Agencies. Southern border wide open to invasion. It's still open, folks. They're still coming over like gangbusters, staying in a hotel near you. And guess what? The mayor of New York wants them to stay at your house. What, so they can get squatter rights after 30 days? That's a good plan. Go for it. Have fun, New York. So the southern border is still wide open.
What are these people talking about? All right, moving on.
Well, I'm a Nancy Mace fan. Whether you like her or not, she's a straight shooter. And if
that's
you really
too quiet.
listen
All right, I know what part of the show this is going to be. I'm going to read you guys some stuff from a QAnon forum. I am going to take it off the screen. I'll show you, like you can see it's here. I'm not just making this up. This is the forum. You guys get it. Anyway, I'm going to read you some comments, but I'm not going to have it on the screen because sometimes there's racial slurs on this website, and I'm not putting that on Twitch. So, I will read to you the things that you need to hear, and I'll be very self-conscious because the screen is now just full of me. Yeah. Oh, you guys can see my Santa now. That's a part of the set that's not very noticeable usually. It's always Christmas when Santa is here. Okay. Thank you, Santa. Alright. Let me read you some of this stuff. Let's see. The top comment on this article about Trump being indicted is, "Can we get on with the arrests now?" I can only hope that's the case. This wasn't the first indictment, though. Bragg already indicted him. Plus, wasn't Epstein first? Or Maxwell? True, but maybe that was the spark that ignites the Big Bang. Here's another one. Where is the red line for patriots, R.E. Trump, and where do you think this is going? The deep state obviously hates Trump, and it seems like they would have no problem assassinating him, except they can't because of the response it would provoke among his supporters and possibly the military. Delusional. It seems like the deep state is trying to push the line as far as it can get away with, just like they're doing with playing possum with World War III. If you don't know, these people are convinced that World War III is happening right now, and we just don't know about it because it's a secret World War III. Kind of like in the Star Trek universe. With the eugenics wars. Anyway. This is the second indictment for Trump. Are they going to arrest him? Where will this end, and where is the Patriots' red line? Here's what it says. Here's what the comments say. The phrase Trump quicksand exists for a reason. I have literally never heard that phrase. It's not a coincidence 65% of Americans now believe January 6 was incited by the feds. That statistic is pulled out of his ass. There's no way that's true. Or that 55% of people believe 2020 was rigged. Also definitely a bullshit stat. The Trump team keeps inviting the New World Order deep state to cross red lines, and they keep accepting. And each line they cross, more normies are being jarred into being awake. They think this is all part of the plan. The red line, or rather, this person named Based Citizen says, "My line was crossed many years ago. That's why I'm here, because we can only fix it by waking people up. I came to the same conclusion after racking my brain for a few years." Ugh, God. This person says, this latest indictment, the indictment is in quotes, as if it's not an indictment. The latest indictment doesn't diminish my support, it strengthens it. That's the left's mistake. They think they can wear us down, demoralize us, but it always backfires. This is how you raise millions more for President Trump as well. They can they can fuck right off. If you want to send money to him, that's fine. But he's scamming you. I don't understand. These actions are not targeted at you in any way. Donald Trump broke the law, allegedly. When Trump messages, "The storm is upon us," that should signal the final red line. Until then, we hold the shield wall steady and firm, spearing our enemies through the holes. We're exactly where we're supposed to be. First indictment was at the state level. Second indictment is at the federal level. Precedents for indicting former presidents are set. So bizarre. I don't know if you know this. You don't need a precedent for that. Also, one of the presidents, I believe in the early 20th century, was arrested a couple times for driving offenses in a car. I forget which one. Was it Teddy Roosevelt? Either way, it was one of them. So you can arrest presidents. You're watching a rope-a-dope. I've said it before many times, but here it is again. The Great Awakening must occur before the military can take public action. Otherwise, the mainstream media will only spin it as being a military coup. We, the people, must be demanding change. It's like they recognize that most people aren't on their side, to some extent or another. So there needs to be some sort of Great Awakening where they're proven right. And everyone believes them. Let's see what else we have. This is kind of funny. This person says line 24 of Trump's indictment destroys all charges. Why? Reading through Trump's indictment, it's interesting, but it's not. It's all for naught. Or a demo lib losing show. Line 24 destroys the entire clump of BS charges. The simple piece in line 34, quote, including Nauta packed some of his items in boxes, end quote. Which boxes? How many? Or all of line 24 as it's printed will provide plenty of reasonable doubt to any jury, especially in red Florida. The prosecution has already sunk their own case in providing plenty of doubt in whom was responsible for what. And do I need to mention Trump can declassify anything before stepping on that airplane? You keep repeating that. The only person who thinks that is Trump. Declassifying things is generally a process that requires filling out paperwork. And again, he never conceded the election to Biden. As if it matters? That's irrelevant. What are you talking about? They have Trump on tape talking about committing his crimes and knowing they're crimes. Not to mention what was in the boxes. It's not a crime to move boxes. Again, the indictment says what was in the boxes. These people are nuts. Like, they genuinely haven't read a single line of the indictment and they think they know what's going on. Insane. Can they lethal injection them for treason? Yikerinos calls to violence. Here's a conspiracy thing from them. Yeah, I know, this is another LARP, right? Anyway, the plan is for multiple Trump indictments to bleed his support over time and demoralize his base. Convince them to move over to DeSantis and have him pardon Trump after he's elected. Trump poses a threat to the foreign policy priorities, the only priorities that really matter in this town, well, the people who actually run things here. Well, DeSantis is a good... There's an anti-Semitic thing here. I'm not going to read it, but basically they're trying to say that DeSantis is some sort of puppet of a cabal in an anti-Semitic way. Anyway, he's a good blank who knows how things work and will play ball. They don't want to actually imprison him, logistically impossible to do anyway. What is with these people saying it's logistically impossible to put a president in jail? You put him in jail, and then there's Secret Service people who work there. That's it. That's the extent of it. It's not a big fucking deal. Supermax prisons already exist. Just break him politically in the last cycle. He'll realistically be able to run in. They don't want Biden again, who's an embarrassment and erodes regime legitimacy. see military recruitment issues. Yes, I'm sure Biden's the reason for military recruitment issues, and not that everyone younger than me recognizes that the military is basically a scam to get the poorest people in America to go kill people in other countries on behalf of rich Americans. They think DeSantis will be able to restore the right-wing half of the country's faith in U.S. institutions again. What's interesting is the timing. DeSantis wasn't supposed to run until after the indictments dropped, and he was supposed to do so reluctantly, but Trump blitzkrieged him so hard right out of the gate that he had to speed up his timeline. A Trump-Biden election is viewed as catastrophic, so it's going to be a hard push between now and primary voting to convince as many R voters as possible that Trump is supposedly unelectable. Polls will come out attempting to shape this reality, especially after each indictment. It's funny how they build in ways of making their claims unfalsifiable. So when polls inevitably probably come out that'll, like, say that, you know, Donald Trump has lost some support because of this, they're just gonna say, oh, it's just part of the conspiracy. Reality is just an inconvenience they push past in order to do their bullshit. Let's see, the comments say they're just galvanizing people to vote for Trump. They've been checkmated a long time ago. If they physically hurt Trump, the U.S. enters a second civil war, which will be won in mere days by the people who stand for the Constitution. I don't doubt this a second. The military can't intervene with massive force. We know what side the average grunt is on. All the other non-physical options simply galvanize his base. They're entirely trapped, and I don't doubt for a second that Trump will sacrifice himself if he has to. Because when I think Donald Trump, I think a guy who makes a lot of sacrifices for other people. Trying to see if there's anything else juicy I need to cover before we move on to more videos. Has anyone dug into Q's last post? What is encoded in our DNA? Who put it there? Language is encoded in DNA. The true language. Also the keystone, possibly. And this is connected to the power sound has. There was a video posted about it. See if I can dig it up. Oof. Let me see. Patriots.win is a thing, right? How are they doing? Oh, Trump, I don't know if you know this, told his supporters to come to Miami on Tuesday, where he's going to be, what's the word? Why am I blanking? He's already been indicted. Arraigned. That's the word. Arraigned. Cassifel says, Hannah, two things. One, your ADHD meds are showing, and it's awesome. You're more focused, concise, sharp, and more flowy. I'm super happy for you. Two, QAnon is kayfabe for people who hate minorities. I don't even know what kayfabe is. Oof, wow, they use the F slur a lot on here. Yikerinos. Wrestling canon. Gotcha. They also have Trump photoshopped as the Mandalorian for some reason. I don't know why. Alright, let's go back to the videos. Cassifel with a link. In professional wrestling, kayfabe is the portrayal of stage events within the industry as real or true, specifically the portrayal of competition, rivalries, and relationships between participants as being genuine and not staged. Oh, yeah, like the canon of wrestling. Sports entertainment, whatever they call it.
Welcome once more to God's Nobody.
Oh, sorry.
Like me. Welcome once more to God's Nobody on a rumble, gonna rumble in double with you. Once again, it's Auntie's T-Bone in Incredible Hulk Green, but still lean. How you doing? Wanted to get on here and shoot a quick random rant video on the sadness of what is happening to Donald Trump right now. A lot of people don't realize that if the political machine can do this to a man that is that rich and powerful.
He's doing this. Why are they still doing this? It could happen to you. Do you have access to classified documents about U.S. nuclear secrets? Then yes, that was already an option. Yes, you would get in trouble if you stole them. That's a thing, correct?
What does it mean for a poor slob like me? Maybe a poor slob like you. This is why I can't stand either the Republican or the Democratic parties, because they both have destroyed the Constitution.
What an enlightened centrist.
Have destroyed the Bill of Rights. And the preamble never read, "We the political parties," or "We the uniparty."
Okay.
In order to form a more perfect union.
Correct. It says we the people. We live in a representative democracy, and you can vote for your representatives. Yep.
Establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense. And admittedly,
Did you forget promote the general welfare? Good lord. Right-wing brainworms.
Don't have the whole thing memorized.
You can't talk about the part in the Constitution that says the government should promote the general welfare of the country, otherwise Republicans might have to admit that they're against the government functioning properly.
But I'm old enough to remember singing the little jingle on Saturday mornings when Americans still love...
This guy's got one of those crazy Kubrick stares. It's like he's staring into my soul.
Their country as little kids from my generation. We the people,
Oh god, whenever boomers are like, oh, my generation, we listened to Schoolhouse Rock. Yeah, so did I. You can listen to Schoolhouse Rock right now. You think my teacher didn't fucking show us Schoolhouse Rock? I'm familiar with it. This has nothing to do with anything. You're the one who doesn't think the Constitution should apply because you don't want Trump to be indicted because he was a president?
For a more perfect union. Not long ago, I actually looked up that little cartoon on YouTube, I think it was, and then they also had, "I'm just a bill, yes, I'm only a bill."
Yes, and I'm sitting here on Capitol. Yes, we know.
And I'll stay that way till Capitol Hill. Kinda.
I think he quoted it wrong. Oh god, what is he doing? Oh god, is he gonna pop out of my screen like the Ring? What the fuck? Ugh.
Makes you think how they've expanded the power of the executive order.
Yes, that's happened because Congress has been a shit show for like 40 years. Maybe closer to 30 years, I don't know. But basically nothing has been able to be effectively done legislatively for decades. And it's a shit show.
No matter who is president. I just gotta ask, what has happened to the American people to where the most fundamental thing that as kids we wouldn't have allowed on the playground, watching a bunch of other kids pile onto one, somebody would have intervened.
What? Wait, what?
Somebody
I missed that.
To the American people to where the most fundamental thing that as kids we wouldn't have allowed on the playground, watching a bunch of other kids pile onto one, somebody would have intervened.
Are you under the impression that children are super empathetic? Children are fucking assholes. Like, I'm not saying every kid does that, but you think kids are incapable of being assholes and beating someone up? That happens all the time. What are you talking about? Porcelain Giant with 31 months says, what the fuck? Yep. Also, yes, Trump is not a child. He's an almost 80-year-old man. He's 76, I believe.
Said.
Is he familiar with, gay bashing? That was a thing. Still is, unfortunately.
That's enough. What has happened to us? I realize this is kind of somber, but it's a legitimate question to ask. Because I'm not a fan of everything Donald Trump does or says. I've got people who aren't fans of everything I do or say. We all do. But yet, what has happened to the American people as a whole to where we are willing to watch what is really, really schoolyard unfair?
We're not in the schoolyard. We're in the United States government. What are you talking about? What child on a playground has stolen classified nuclear documents? You know what I mean? Every single person we've watched today, by the way, is entirely talking around the point. Has anyone noticed this? They're not even really addressing any of the actual accusations of the document. It's all been whataboutism and just completely going around the point. It's nuts. It's nuts watching this cognitive dissonance in real time. Like, they must recognize how damning this is for Trump, because they're not talking about the specifics of the crime. But they also can't integrate that, so they have to just talk around it.
And I'm kind of rambling here, but...
Clock Blockers says, celebrating the indictment with a fresh funnel cake, so life's pretty good. Ooh, that sounds nice.
I'm just struck by that. When did we become we the parties in order to form a more perfect union?
Basically right after George Washington resigned. Pretty much, yeah.
I thought...
Not even then. The Federalists and the Democratic Republicans were already infighting while Washington was still in office.
I thought it was...
So basically, since the beginning...
we the people. Something for you to think about. Till next time, this is still Auntie's T-Bone, God's Nobody, Auto Rumble. Goodbye now.
That guy creeps me out. I think I'm gonna save this guy for Tinfoil Tuesday or something. This guy's kind of creepy. Can we not start videos inexplicably with creepy children's laughter? Good lord.
They did it in 2016 when Hillary got caught with her illegal home server, espionage, foreign bribery, obstruction. They did it in 2020 with Joe Biden when he got caught taking millions from foreign governments.
Again, that didn't happen. Just making shit up.
He got caught with a clear $5 million bribe to Joe and $5 million bribe to Hunter when he was VP from Burisma to get the prosecutor fired, or he was going to lose, or Ukraine was going to lose $1 billion in aid. They did it in 2016 and they did it in 2020. Why is it so shocking that people? Why are people shocked that they're doing it again in 2024? It's the same people running this. It's the same National Security Division at the Justice Department. It's the same. It's the same corrupt units, the counterintelligence units at the FBI.
Oh God, no! It's Bannon. Fuck.
Dershowitz, who's a ACLU guy, a huge liberal, been at Harvard forever, been through the Vietnam War, the protests there, been through the Nixon situation, been through Trump's first impeachment. When he says he thinks this is one of the most dangerous, if not the most dangerous time in the history of this republic, what say you, sir?
I think we should plug his book again. Get Trump. I mean, he lays it out in his book. It's very clear what they're doing. They have weaponized, they have politicized and weaponized our justice system. Again, not our parents' or grandparents' Democrat Party. These are not liberals who love America and just
fuck off. Cluepock, thanks for gifting us.
Disagree with conservatives on the best way to get there. These are Marxist. They hate America.
What do they think Marxism is? And they think Joe Biden is a Marxist? Good lord. Words have no meaning.
They hate free speech. They hate due process. They hate...
This is due process! This is literally due process happening! I don't know if you guys saw, but the prosecutor did a, earlier today, did a press conference. Very brief, but what he said was incredibly, respectful to the rule of law. And he basically said, I want to remind everyone that Trump is innocent until proven guilty. So keep that in mind. He respects that. I don't understand.
Equality. All they care about is power, and they are using our justice system. They are using our intel apparatus for power. They did it in 2016. They did it in 2020. They're doing it again in 2024. And the only way we're going to stop this is if we put Trump back in the White House in 2024 so he can
surely re-electing the criminal who has multiple indictments going on is going to work well for us.
Dismantle all of this.
Mike Davis, how do people get to your great...
Like, subscribe, and share.
Stop using children's voice, you goddamn creeps.
Hi, I'm Greg Hunt.
Wow, I'm really bad at this.
This is the weekly news wrap-up for Friday, June 9th, 2023. The WNW 525 brought to you by our list of direct advertisers discount golden.
Seems legit. Definitely not a scam.
Over trading. Are you...
Wow, they sell gold and water filtration systems? Wow, how convenient.
Prepared... satellite phone store. The number's there for you to...
Realistically, what would get him disqualified for office? Would it just be being found guilty of a federal crime? I don't believe there's any law that specifically says you can't run for federal office if you're convicted of a felony. I'm pretty sure he could run for president from prison if he was somehow... it went fast enough that he was in prison before the election.
To call
I'm sure it's something that would be litigated, don't get me wrong, but like, to my knowledge, there's no specific thing that says that, so it'd be pretty hard to argue that he can't.
Website, are you prepared? Again, Dry Element, you got to have good water. We'll talk about their water filtration and also a new piece of technology, a monocular that's even better than the one we've been showing you. And last but certainly not least, Weston Scientific, and there's a news peg for this product, but let's get right into the big news that happened late on Thursday. Trump indicted on 7 criminal counts.
Why is he literally printing out pieces of paper? Does he not know how to put things on the screen?
It's in classified documents case. Can you believe this? The nature of the latest charges against Trump are not public, as the indictment is sealed for now. What they're saying, though, what they're reporting at WAPO and some of the other places, obstruction of justice, espionage. I mean, this is outrageous.
Have you read the indictment?
Meanwhile, they're sitting on the Hunter Biden laptop.
Really? We're doing this? Come on!
After they told...
This isn't even MAGA cope. This entire stream is MAGA denial. This is bizarre. Like, they're not even salty. They're just, like, in complete denial of all of this. This is crazy.
Us that it was Russian disinformation. This is the FBI. Another fine moment for the FBI. Of course, total lie. It's real. And it documents the tawdry cases, you know.
What are you basing the fact that you think the Hunter Biden laptop is real? Why do you think that? Because Tucker Carlson told you so?
According to Marjorie Taylor Greene, the bribes were so big.
Oh yeah, Marjorie Taylor Greene, a real straight shooter.
That she went over to the Treasury Department. They had to use the SWIFT system. They couldn't use duffel bags stuffed with wads of $100 bills. The bribes are so big. But I digress. We'll get to that more. The nature of the case is not public. Trump called the new charges election interference at the highest level. I agree. I'm an innocent man, says Trump. This is indeed a dark day for the United States of America. Yes, it's a banana republic-ish.
KBS says, Eugene Debs, great socialist leader and founder of the IWW, was convicted of sedition quite unconstitutionally and ran for president from prison. He won a case that tried to exclude him from the ballot. Well, there you go.
Frankly, it looks like we are a crazy country, and this will affect all of our investments, all of our lives.
Your first thought is your fucking investments? Oh my god, these people. The priorities on display sicken me.
It'll affect how the world views us.
I think the market actually went up today, didn't it?
The world's reserve currency status, the move away from the world reserve currency status, and yes, it's a big story that I'm going to tell you about, with a guest, a routine guest. He's been here several times, a 6-time best-selling financial author. But here we have Trump in the social.
How many pieces of paper did he print? This is an hour-long stream.
Media post griped that the corrupt Biden administration has informed my attorneys that I have been indicted seemingly over the box's hoax.
It's not a hoax. You're on recording talking about it and knowing it's illegal and saying you didn't declassify them.
President Trump griped that...
It's almost admirable how they can spout all this BS with a straight face, almost. I'm sickened by it. I'm disgusted on a visceral level. They make me so mad.
Biden himself had not been charged, despite the fact a number of government documents, some of which were classified, had been found at locations where he lived or worked as a private citizen. And unlike Donald Trump, who has the power to declassify documents while he was president, Biden had a lot of these documents while he was vice president and while he wasn't in...
Yeah, there's a recording. The indictment had a transcript of a couple of the things.
Office, and vice presidents do not have the power to declassify.
You'll pay me 3 hugs to come over and organize your DVDs and Blu-rays? You know, I think I could just get hugs from my wife, probably. Or most of the other people in chat.
Documents, but yet, oh well. Let me tell you.
Learning Trump has 37 counts of document theft.
Something like...
In a row? One of the best segments from Clerks.
36?
What? Something like 36?
Who are you boys?
Wait, what is that anyway? Something like 36? Does that include?
Oh, shit. Bose tips $75 and says, Creator Economy Fund. Have a nice stream, Hannah. Thank you so much. You guys know what that means. We're close to the end of the stream now, but that means tomorrow's gonna be a maid outfit stream. God damn it. Alright, I'll see. Tomorrow will be maid outfit.
Me?
37.
I'm 37?
Going to class.
Oh my god. 37. My girlfriend sucked 37 dicks.
In a row?
Yeah, I wonder if these documents, as he's had, some of them are quite old, frankly. I wonder if they basically lay out some of the tawdry things he was doing, the money he was collecting for his family, the big guy, the bribes, whatever, the crazy thing, just like the Hunter Biden laptop. You see these pictures and they release, oh, there's new 9,000 pictures of Hunter Biden. Yes, it's tawdry and, oh, it's terrible and he's a creepy guy. But really the real treasure trove is the deals laid out on the laptop, the emails that basically chart and basically show...
Do I have the cartoon on Blu-ray? Wait, the cartoon of what?
Some real problems, but listen...
Oh, Clerks. No, I don't have the Clerks cartoon on Blu-ray. I've never even seen Clerks, the animated series, though I heard it was good.
Yeah, I wasn't interested in doing that. They were interested in telling the public that was Russian disinformation before the 2020 election. Total lie. 52 intelligence people came out and said, oh, yeah, no, Russian disinformation, lies on top of lies. And yet...
What does that have to do with any of the claims in the indictment? Again, you're talking around the issue.
And you know what? That's what this whole case is. More lies. He's being charged. He's being tried in federal court in Miami-Dade. Now, this is a good piece of news. And last election, the 2022 midterm election...
I'm so curious what the voir dire process is going to be for the jurors for this. Because, like, it's such a politically charged case. How difficult is it going to be to find people who can put aside whatever their particular bias is and just listen?
Elections, Miami-Dade, for the first time in years, many years, went Republican. Oops. Now, that's where they have to get their jury pool out of Miami-Dade. A lot of Jewish people there, they seem to like Donald Trump. His daughter and son-in-law are Jewish, and he did a lot of things for Israel. Also...
That's true. They found people to hear out the indictment. That's true.
A lot of Hispanic people, namely Cubans, and they seem to like him too. Plus, Floridians in general.
They hate Biden because Castro took away their parents' or grandparents' businesses or whatever, or property, so they're mad.
Like Donald Trump, he's doing better in the polls. Better than DeSantis, and DeSantis that's his home state, and he's doing pretty good in the polls, DeSantis. But Trump is actually beating DeSantis, and you got to remember why they're doing this. Okay.
Why are they doing this? Enlighten me.
Why are they going after Trump so hard? Remember the real number, the real approval number, not this ridiculous 40% approval that Reuters had. I think at 43% of this stupid.
They just refuse to. Reality is an impediment to their worldview.
Stupid.
Never let reality get in the way of a good story, huh?
Ridiculous approval numbers in the high 30s, low 40s. Oh, Biden's doing great. He's still holding his. No, he's not. They know what the real numbers are. 9%. My source.
Wait, you think that Biden's approval rating is 9%? Good Lord. What are you talking about?
That works for big tech that I must protect. But also, that's back.
Why would some rando working for a tech company have accurate polling anything? What the fuck are you talking about?
Up by Martin Armstrong and his Socrates program, who said on this air that it was 9.5%. So there's your double journalism backup. Two sources. Two good sources.
Two good sources. Trust me, bro.
9 and 9.5%, 9%. They've got to be wondering, can we even cheat?
This is fucking nuts. How could he possibly believe this? This is stupid even by MAGA standards to say any president has a 9% approval rating. I would say the exact same thing for the opposite. If someone came here and was like, Trump really only had a 9% approval rating, I'd be like, are you on crack? Are you crazy? Of course he didn't. He has a huge base. Like, I think Donald Trump's an asshole and an idiot, but I'm not delusional about the fact that he has a lot of followers. He got tens of millions of votes. 30%, yeah, is pretty much the floor. I would agree, and you'd have to be doing a real bad job to hit 30.
Our way to a win, if we only got 9% approval rating. I mean, they're losing a lot. Have you seen Jimmy Dore lately? If you saw Jimmy Dore 2 years ago before he was vaxxed, I couldn't hardly stand it. It was this ridiculous, moronic Democrat diatribe. Well, now, not so much. He's going after these people. He said he was on Joe Rogan's show. He says, I got hit with spike proteins. I'm ill from it. That's what he said on Joe Rogan. And a lot of Democrats are pretty sick of the whole warmongering. I mean, the Democrats were that, hate here. We're peace. They're
correct. Ukraine is defending against an invasion. They're not doing an invasion.
They stand with Ukraine, which is such a scam. And people should understand how, and I'll get to talking about the war, how awful and how dangerous this whole Ukraine war, which is not Ukraine, it's NATO. And it's the United States. And they're getting cremated. But keep in mind, when you see these cases and why they're going after Trump so hard, 9% approval rating for Biden. You keep coming back to the real numbers.
What's with right-wingers and all-thinking leftists give a crap about what Jimmy Dore thinks? Tim Pool and Dan Bongino do the same thing. It's not actually for leftists or even liberals. It's for their audience who are right-wing to believe that even people on the left, quote-unquote, agree with them on some things or on whatever. It's a way to make them feel like there's more people that support them than actually do. That's also why Tim Pool calls himself a centrist. Does he still even do that? I know originally he was calling himself a centrist, which is funny.
9% approval rating for Biden. Can they cheat in Biden with 9% approval rating? Can they cheat in any?
You're just making numbers up. He does not have a 9% approval rating, you psycho.
But what are they going to do? What are they going to run on? Transgenderism? That's a dud. Ask Budweiser.
They're doing fine.
Bud Light.
Anheuser-Busch is doing fine, my guy.
What are they going to... Tax increases? More war?
You could run healthcare, yeah, LGBT rights, making sure rich people pay taxes, infrastructure. There's a lot of things.
More burning down cities? More people leaving places like California?
Remember all those cities that got burned down? No, me either.
And Oregon? Because they can't stand the crime? What are they going to run on? Black lives don't matter when they're fraud? Antifa burning down cities?
Oh, you said it again.
What are they going to run on? High crime? Defunding the police? You think black people like crime? They don't. Look at what's happening in Chicago, giving away all this stuff to...
all the fucking... They always talk about Chicago.
Illegal aliens. It's absolutely outrageous. People in Chicago...
H-Baird says, Republicans convincing themselves they're anti-war has been one of the weirdest things in my lifetime. Same. Chromatic Cuttlefish says, always remember the Bowling Green Massacre.
And people in New York are pissed about it. But, you know, keep voting Democrat.
Okay.
Of course, the Republicans are slimy dogs, too, and it's the Uniparty, and that's what they're doing. But, you know, they're charging, some people are charging, some former Trump lawyers who were in the grand jury are charging Jack Smith, who's the prosecutor on this, with prosecutorial misconduct. That's what they're saying. But, you know, who cares? Get Trump at all costs. You got to get him. You got to get Donald Trump at all costs. And this was reported in WAPO, and I kind of changed some of the headlines, so I took some of the credit for it because it wasn't all WAPO, but this is some of the reporting. Trump docs trial in 2 places. Yes, most federal charges against Trump in classified docs probe will be in South Florida, right? Other charges...
1 second, chat.
in D.C. Well, according to a leak at the Washington Post, if Trump is indicted, the bulk of the charges will be in South Florida. But, oh, hey, whoa, we have to have a backup plan, right? We have to charge him in a place where it's not like South Florida.
Federal criminal charges, the venue, it's flexible. If any portion of a crime is committed in certain areas, they're allowed to try it there. So I'd imagine that has to do with the different charges. Different charges might have to be in different districts because they were committed in different jurisdictions.
Florida, with lots of Jews that like Donald Trump and Hispanics and Cubans. Oh, no. We have to charge him in a place that went 96% for Hillary Clinton in 2016, Washington, D.C. So here we have this. Other process crimes such as false statements and perjury may be filed in Washington, D.C. just in case Trump gets an acquittal. This is sickening. Charges with a D.C. jury just in case of acquittal in Florida.
I don't think it's just in case. They're different charges.
Trump any way you can is
some of the crimes were committed in Washington, D.C. when he was leaving the White House.
The deal was questioned, but I think it's a statement. Outrageous, any possible constitutional problem. How many times...
Okay. Enough of this guy. Has Donald Trump posted anything interesting? When the FBI raided Mar-a-Lago, they wouldn't let my lawyers or representatives anywhere near them. Yeah, they're executing a search warrant. They wouldn't tell us what they took. They're not required to. Knowing them and based on past performance, they probably later stuffed in other documents. Baseless claim. My lawyers had to wait outside on a very hot day. That's what you're complaining about? The FBI took my medical records, birth certificate, and passports, and just about anything else that were able to get their hands on. What a group. They already sent the passport and stuff back. They returned stuff that wasn't relevant to the investigation. They didn't do this to crooked Joe Biden or Hillary. Neither of them did the thing you did. So, that'll do it. Okay, that's probably good. I don't necessarily need to see Tim Pool be a dumbass about it, so let's see who we're going to raid. Thanks everyone for hanging out today. I really appreciate it. It's been fun. It's been interesting. Maybe Trump wanted the FBI to raid him because it plays into his persecution narrative? Maybe. Maybe he's just dumb, though. Who knows? Oh, look. An actual lawyer talking about the Trump thing. Perfect. Clock blockers, thanks for 400 bits. Alright, have a great night, everyone. Love you, Mr. Blast. I will be back tomorrow, probably for a crypto cringe stream, which is now going to be titled Tales from the Crypto, because it's a better title that someone else thought of. They gave me permission to steal it, it's fine. Unless some other crazy thing happens, because like the past 2 days I was planning on doing crypto, and it got... other stuff happened. If you were here from the raid, give me a follow if you liked what you saw. We do stuff almost every day. It's always fun. There's a great community. Join the Discord. Alright. See you guys tomorrow. Have a great night. Enjoy the glow of salty MAGA people. Good night, everyone.